What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Couch podcast. I love this podcast because it was just talking, it's just having fun. There's not a lot of pressure, and it's pretty good. It's not like the other stuff where I have to worry about all these things and that, and just a cool time to talk, long format. Mike was gonna make it. He had to cancel last minute, so now it's pretty epic in a way, kind of like a good storyline. Uh, Couch draft party just happened, biggest, best draft party in the world. And last year was kind of the first year we had, quote unquote, an outsider, right? Somebody that's not necessarily a friend or family that, lived in the area that I've known for a while. So we had one of our couch captains, Sue Shane. He was in the league. He's right below me here last year, and he couldn't make it. And we got Sully from New York. Sue Shane came from Illinois. Sully came from New York and kind of replaced Sue Shane as the one
I wouldn't say
outsider.
replaced, just substituted.
It doesn't. It's just a word. You know what I mean? Like he didn't come murder you and then like take your
Does
social.
that mean I'm a
Right.
1 year? Does that substitute means I'm a 1 year fill-in?
Yeah.
So,
Maybe
Let's-
not. Maybe not. We'll
we
see.
He
don't get-
replaced you, but just not in a negative way per se.
Yeah.
It's just there was
Yeah.
one spot that you represented one thing. You flew
Yeah.
in, a long flight and came in. I never met you before, and you're a couch
Yeah,
captain.
which is pretty crazy too. I'm telling my friends, and everyone's just saying they're like, dude, you're nuts. They're like, so you've never met any of these people before? I'm like, well, how could I? They live in California. I've never even been to California.
Yeah.
I'm like, how would I have ever met them? I'm like, this is a great time to meet a few of the guys, you, Mike, Drew, people I've been playing in leagues with for a couple years now. I'm like, this is a great opportunity, and the party's insane, and the draft, and
we're all sort of friends on Discord.
yeah, of course.
That's
Yeah,
the thing is like we've known each other for a while. Like I wouldn't just invite somebody that I didn't feel had a good sense for, that I at least kind of trusted. Like had a good feeling, and but it just made it more epic. And
yeah, definitely.
And so it was great. I think this draft party was even better than last year. And every year we're like, how are we going to top this? And it was great. So we'll talk about the draft party. We're going to talk a lot about week one questionable players, maybe just a little bit about college football since we got Sue Shane here. Dynasty is his life. So he'll probably talk a little bit about college season kicking off.
Dynasty is his life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Confirmed.
yes.
One player that we miss out that we wish we drafted more of. So we'll cover all that, and we'll answer any questions you guys might have because we do this podcast live. But I want to start off this podcast by just saying that I am working on a partnership deal right now. It's being finalized, and it's a dream scenario for me. It's kind of hard to put in words. Like this year, I had something set in my mind. This is the what's it called? It's like the universe, when the universe speaks to you. Law of attraction. It's a law of attraction. And so I had something in my mind. I was like, I don't want to work with too many sponsors this year, and I'm just blowing off emails. And then Sleeper hits me up yesterday out the blue, and they're like, we want to do this and that with you. And just to kind of promote Sleeper organically, like it's the best platform. I was like, bro, I say that every day anyway on my live streams. You don't gotta, like, we don't have to sign a paper. I'm always like advocating Sleeper. Like, look how many people I signed up. I'm always pushing you guys. And I even just kind of got into a fight with the IG Experts League guys, just telling them how much ESPN sucks because they ruined my draft video.
Oh,
and how much I like Sleeper.
I forgot you did that through ESPN.
Yeah, the old one. Oh my god.
I mean,
draft
like,
award was so bad to read.
So we got like the Throne draft and the IG Experts leagues. I know it's a lot of similar accounts. Like it's many of the top fantasy accounts, like on Instagram and like in general. The fact that it's not done through Sleeper is embarrassing. Like that's embarrassing.
Yeah, and
like, it's a really bad look.
I started out on ESPN. I still think it's okay, but like in this modern day age, it is embarrassing because the first thing I said, they don't have a draft board. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I want a draft board with colors and stickers. Like, what like, is that like, oh no, we can't, ESPN developers, oh, we can't code that.
Apparently not.
Like, geez. Right? And so it is kind of like, I'm not trying to like blame ESPN or blame it. Like, it is unfortunate. The main argument I really got into was I am passionate about filmmaking. I'm passionate to give my viewers and followers and the Couch Fam community what they want. I want to entertain them. I want to put on a good show. It's not about I'm going to get a view and I'm going to get a subscriber. And no, I want to present the best film, the best YouTube video to my guys. It's my passion. It's like a filmmaker, and a lot of people probably would have said like, bro, you're not no filmmaker. You're just doing YouTube. But I mean, like, I've proven them wrong. Like, this is my form of a short film and nobody can take that away. And then there's the numbers to prove it. And so
you're a filmmaker. I mean, after looking at the draft, like seeing like the bells and whistles, I was like, like the behind the scenes stuff, I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Sully didn't get how like much of an a-hole. I told you too I was going to be an a-hole.
No, I knew that. I mean, look, I knew you're going to be busy. I knew you're going to be stressed. I wasn't shocked about that at all. Just like the whole like production, like the lighting, like everything, like the behind the scenes things you don't see on camera. I was just like, wow, you got those umbrella light things. I'm like, this is intense. And I know you take it very seriously and it's your passion, but seeing in person everything that you don't see in the video and the amount of cameras we have, like, you don't just go and you press play and draft and edit. Like, it's a whole, and you're saying the long days editing, like it's a whole thing. It's it's
on another level.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And the argument was basically like, I was pissed, and it's not like I'm not necessarily blaming ESPN or blaming them, but I'm pissed because, this is my life's work. I went out on a limb and invented this format where, I have a little face cam and we draft, and it's been a popular format now. And it was the ESPN draft. It's the video. People love watching it. So I was pissed off and I went on a huge rant, but it was more about my passion for liking Sleeper. And see, that's the funny, the Sleeper nobody saw, this is a private group chat, but
yeah.
And I know all of them looked at me like weirdos and they're like, okay, bro, it's just a platform. Like, relax. They don't get it. Like, I don't just post on Instagram. That's not what I do.
Yeah.
I'm a filmmaker and I take it seriously. So I was pissed. And so like all this, like this is all in my head. Like it's a big deal for me. And I'm thinking about taking less sponsors and this and that this year. And I was thinking about changing stuff because my views are okay, but all my titles are kind of boring and like they're very like organized, like waiver pickup, weekly rankings. Like I want a little bit more spice. I want to change things up. And they hit me up out the blue. And they wanted me to do that. And they like, oh, we already know how much you love Sleeper organically. Like we already know, so you can still do your thing. Just change up the segments a little bit. And man, when this deal's finalized, I will announce it, but I'm just ecstatic. Like this is the exact deal that I wanted. And so I'm very happy. I mean,
perfect opportunity with the perfect platform. For sure.
It is exactly. And that's where like, so one of the arguments in the IGX verse, I'm not gonna tell you who it was, but he was advocating for ESPN. And I was like, all right, let me sum up. Like, I was like, where do you play Dynasty? Like, I was like, do you even play Dynasty? He's like, yeah, those are on the Sleeper. Okay.
There you go. You just answered the question.
So I'm like, let me summarize your points. I'm like, number one, Sleeper's better for Dynasty. Okay. Number two, Sleeper's better for drafting, but you prefer ESPN during the season. Okay. And draft day is only one day. So those are your points why ESPN's better. I was like, that's weak. And then he came up with some excuse about taking care of his kids. And I look like a total weirdo in the group chat. But like, I don't care. I'm gonna argue about stuff that like I'm gonna have passion for stuff that I have passion about, and none of them's gonna understand, right?
Is Smitty's in that league, right? Smitty's in that league.
Yeah.
Was he?
He missed the whole thing. He missed the whole. He just loves drama. Yeah, he came in at the end. Was like, wow, I missed a lot. I love drama.
Classic.
I'm like,
classic.
Because he loves Sleeper, right?
That's complicated.
Oh, okay. Whatever. We don't got.
He likes He likes using Sleeper because it's a great platform. Like,
I mean, yeah.
Where are you gonna mock drafts, Smitty? He mock drafts on Sleeper, obviously. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's the best. I mean, I always do the same. I'm always advocating for Sleeper for my friends. I did a dynasty startup. Sushane knows. I got everyone on Sleeper. And then my college league, it's some similar guys from the dynasty college startup. And they were all like some of them that weren't in, they were like, oh, I don't know about Sleeper. And every one of them advocated. And all the other people, my home league, I switched to Sleeper this year. You know, I showed them, like, you do one screenshot, you send your whole team. You don't need to do the 10 screenshots. That's another thing. With Yahoo and ESPN, oh, this angle, this. No, you send one screenshot.
Man. That is convenient.
It's so convenient. It wastes less space in your phone. You don't got to worry about sending a million texts and them not going through. Sends you all your draft picks, all your future picks, all your players. Doesn't matter if you have 100 players. It's in one thing, let alone from the drafting. So that's always, because you hate when your boy sends you sent me 4 screenshots from Yahoo. Like, I don't want 4 screenshots of your team. Send me one thing. And my friends from home were like, this is sweet. It's awesome. The draft board, they loved it. My college friends, they advocated for it. Every single person I've converted has said this
draft
is far
also
superior.
Lightweight. It's lightweight, so you can run it on any old computer. When I live stream it, it doesn't crash all my footage. Like, it's so lightweight. It's like opening up any tab, like any normal tab you'd have. Oh, I love the chat. That's my main point. You can DM somebody, you can tag people. It's like, what are we living in? Like 1999? Like, I can DM Sushane, I can DM Sushane and Sully at the same time, and then I can go behind Sushane's back when we're talking about a running back that he's gonna steal from me in Dynasty. You know,
classic.
Do all that. Yeah,
like,
I got beef with you, Sushane. By the way, I said that was an unethical move.
Really? Okay, we can talk about it. We can talk about
it. I told Sushane about a running back, and he was kind of downplaying it. Then he goes and adds him in our league.
Who was the running back?
Is it unethical? Mason. What's his name?
Trey Mason.
Jordan Mason. The Niners.
Oh, the Niners. Okay.
Yeah. Trey Sermon replacement.
Very sneaky of you, Sushane. Very sneaky.
Yeah, he told me about him. Like, hey, you know what? I'll check him out.
But also, why didn't you add him yourself? In fairness.
Oh, he just put a higher bid on him.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. All right. I see both sides there.
It's sneaky. It's
sneaky.
I understand why you would feel.
It's a competition. He can do that. I'm just saying it's sneaky. So it's
and people are probably like, who the hell is that guy? Like, who is this Mason guy?
Well, it's
obviously after Trey Sermon got cut, obviously he gets
that was really what pushed me. So I was mentioning him just like as your 20th best player on Dynasty. I wasn't like this guy's gonna blow up or anything.
Yeah, not a redraft sleeper.
Nothing like that.
Sushane's a football guy. Like, he actually loves the game of football.
Yeah.
I'm more a fantasy competitor. That's my obsession. I love to win in fan. So he's looking at him. He's kind of thinking like, okay, is this guy going to be a big talent? I was just like, he's a good ad. You know, he's young. He's a rookie. Like, he's worth rostering. And then, you know, he goes and because me and him are managing a team together, a high stakes dynasty. So I mentioned him for that. He goes around in another league and adds him behind my back.
In the Empire.
Beats me to it. Yeah, Couch Empire League. I don't know. I was a little surprised, but I knew like that could happen. I just didn't think he'd do it. I didn't think he'd actually.
Well, now you know. Now you know.
Now I know.
One league. Come on.
Hey, next time I'm still gonna bring it up to him because that's like because of how I am in life. Like, I don't have a normal job and I have normal relationships. Right. I separate things. Right. So there's a business side I have with Sushane, and when managing teams with Sushane. Now, if he wants to take that confidential, you know, that money, that value information I give him and use it against me in a fun league that we're doing, and so be it. But I'm not going to affect this side, right? I'm not going to affect the couch and the Discord and our business. Like, I have to do that. But if he chooses to take that and then bash me over the head like WWE, then.
And Sushane's like, come on, it's like that's like 5% of my leagues. That's like 1/20th of my leagues. Who cares?
Exactly. It's just one league. It's all good.
Yeah.
And Couch, don't worry. If he becomes a stud, you'll be the first person I ask to trade. Don't worry about it.
Oh God, he's already trying to trade him to me. That makes it worse. So
that's cynical. That's dark.
Yeah, it's a dirty guy.
I like it, but it's dark.
It's it is what it is. Like,
man.
I knew this when I was telling him. I just didn't. I was like, it's a very small chance he'd actually do something like that.
No, it's a decent chance.
Let's go on to the actual. We haven't even started the content yet, right?
right.
We're started the
intro,
podcast
boys.
now.
Intro.
So it was a great talk. All right, so these are some of the leagues we've done, that I've done and Couch Fam has done, and then we're gonna amp it up here, and then we're gonna talk about the draft party. So we did the Throne League, Redraft League, where we all drafted as a team. We voted on every single player. We do this every year. We were the champs a couple years ago, so we did that. Sue Shane's in the Empire League. Empire League is a dynasty league, except if somebody wins back-to-back years, the league resets. That's all it is. There's actually a winner, and actually a dynasty is actually crowned. For the first year, we're doing a Vampire League, and that's when 11 guys draft, and I was the Vampire. I get to – the waivers is my team, basically. And so every time I beat a team, I steal one player from them. We did an auction draft. We did a first down league with like super realistic scoring. You get points for first downs and other various things.
Yeah.
We did the most intense league ever, the Throne Dynasty League. That was
Never again,
nuts.
but it was a great experience. I'll say.
Oh, never again. We're in for life. Us and D Wiz.
Well, I'm saying,
well,
for another
she's talking about the startup.
Yeah.
So I think the rookie draft
yeah.
will be fun. That'll be great. It'll be our little mini reunion. We'll have fun. It'll
Dude,
be
that
great.
was crazy. That
The
was
startup though. That's like we'll never do that startup thing
No,
again.
man.
Like,
it was a great one-time experience, but it's a one-time.
before you know it, we're up Friday night at 2 a.m. hoping the Milwaukee Brewers win. Why are we hoping the Brewers win? Oh, so little Johnny can get his college funded. So yeah, I'll do the trade with you. That was insanity. That was nuts. I'm joining the action. Oh yeah, I'll throw 50 on it casually. Yeah. Let's throw.
what Sully's talking about is one of the guys in the league ended up being just this crazy guy, this very eccentric, crazy guy. He's like, I'm betting on sports. If I win, I'll accept the trade offer. And we're like, man, he doesn't know he's talking to 10 of us. And then we're all, I'm on the West Coast. You guys are up at 2 a.m.
I'm up at 2 a.m.
a ball game.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going crazy. I'm in an NFT league and I just joined another NFT league where everybody gives up buy-in is a $200 NFT, and I think first place gets 8 of the NFTs.
I got to
Second
get
place
ready
gets
for the
3
other
NFTs.
one too. The one that we have with the NFTs. I got to get ready for
Yeah,
that.
and that's a tournament. That one, first place wins a Bored Ape. And me and Sully, of course, we pulled the gold
Pulled
card,
the gold ones, baby.
Also could win a mutant ape. So
What is a
whatever
gold
that
one? What
is.
does that mean?
They're worth a gold card. It's like, what is it? 1 out of 100.
Yeah, so you're also entered into a mini special tournament. So the tournament's 10,000 people, but if you pull a gold one, you're in a special tournament with 100 people. And so you could win an additional prizes every week and for the season with that gold card. On top of the regular, you can enter into the regular tournament too. So of course, glad I bullied Sully into getting in there. He pulled the gold card right away.
First, it was like I got like 10 of them, and it was like my 4th or 5th one I pulled gold. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna pull a gold. I'm like, I'll buy 10 or 15 or whatever. And it's a good gold card too. It has good because it goes by the position and the team. So it'll be like, Packers quarterback. It's like, oh, that's good, obviously, or it'll be like, oh, like Texans running back. That's on the up now. Bob, Throne Dynasty wasn't good for my blood pressure. No one's, brother. No one's.
That was nuts.
No one's.
Yeah.
He was also one of the 2 trigger guys.
He was we was one of the main guys for sure.
Yeah, you guys killed it. You guys had a lot of stuff to relay.
It is. Bob was arguably the most important person in that group because he would check us. And one thing we did good, mainly because not just because of Bob, but mainly because of Bob. Like what I always say, Sushane, when we're talking about like your rookie fetish, was like, if there's a player that's risky, like knock him down 10%, knock him down 20%. Just like buying a stock or crypto. If you take an L, at least that L was 10%, 20% cheaper. If you take a win, hey, I got him for
even
a cheaper
better
price.
Yeah.
And so, Bob was really pushing us not to draft Zach Wilson. And he said, look, if you bozos are so adamant on drafting Zach Wilson, let's at least trade down because we can still get other players. At least trade down. And if Zach Wilson's there 3-4 spots down the road, then we can take him. So at least we got Zach Wilson, who seems so far, like maybe not the best choice. We got Zach Wilson in round 3, Superflex Dynasty. At least we traded down for him. So at least that was good. So he was always like the last check guy.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. And like, if there was like, he would be more willing to probably say no to trades also. So like that was another check. That was another check. Like, like, I mean, you're a huge trade guy. You're the trade guy, but sometimes.
Yeah, and then some other guys on there are also very trade happy. So
yeah,
it could have gone
Drew,
pretty out of
definitely.
control.
So it's
Shane
good
and
to have
Bob
that balance.
were
Good to have
the
that
two
balance.
guys basically running the team. So that was
You guys like
balance.
not polar opposites, but you're trade heavy and more dynasty rebuild.
I'd say polar.
Yeah, I guess so.
They
pretty
both
close
love
to polar
dynasty,
opposites,
but I'd say
yeah.
polar opposites.
Different methods.
it's pretty
He's more of
close.
a win now guy. You are more of a rebuild dynasty guy. But it's a good mix to have though.
It's the ideal 2 pillars. To
Yeah,
have,
you want
honestly.
to balance each other out, and
Everyone falls in between.
different insights. And like looking back on it, yeah, I kind of wish we listened to, as a Jet fan. Yeah, I probably would have rathered Carr over Zach Wilson in dynasty. Who knows? There's still a lot to be played. With Wilson's been a roller coaster all off season. We're going with highs, there's lows. Some people can disagree on the highs and the lows. Some things are good, some things are bad.
I think
But
it's the Jets fan and Sully talking right now.
No, I'm
The
saying
highs and
I'm saying what people thought was a good thing really may not have been a good thing. And Couch knows what I'm talking about. Like no noise is good. No news is good news for quarterbacks. So the whole, that thing when he, when his ex came out and said what he was doing in his free time, the mom thing, that like people were like, oh, Zach Wilson's ADP shot up. It shot up. It went up like people were taking him early third in some drafts and dynasties. So and then Couch is like, it's not a good thing. You want your quarterback to be, hat forward. You want your quarterback to be, the mature adult. You don't want news and stuff. And it's true. And then, the Wilson injury. It's just been a roller coaster with Wilson. And
we're tanking this year though, so maybe.
Oh yeah, we're tanking.
Maybe
It does help.
he'll be good in 1 year. Hopefully, we'll see. I was also in a Pace League, charity league with Adam Rank, Darren Waller, Marcus Grant, Michael Florio. I can say this is why I can say stuff like this on the pod. By the way, they play on Sleeper. Because the NFL platform,
Adam Rank and all those guys.
Let's just say it's not, bro. The NFL platform, like. I was so pissed.
Oh,
I was.
Dude, the NFL platform's horrible.
Pissed. It's the worst one. Like,
it's the worst one.
I think that is true. It is the worst one.
Oh, I've used the 4. It's the worst. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
When you say ESPN's okay, it's not the worst. It's only because there's one worse, and that's NFL. That's only why. Or else ESPN would be the worst. So
ESPN works. It's efficient. It's okay to manage your team. It's bulky, it's old school, and there's no draft board. On the NFL platform, I wish there was no draft board because the draft board doesn't work, and it's more bulky. So you got a draft board that's broken. It's like inaccurate. So and then it's all bulky. It's all slow.
If ESPN had a draft board, it would greatly benefit them. It would.
Yeah.
You'd have an actual case because like the in-season management, it's like. Pretty clean.
They don't care. This is the same company as Disney and ABC.
Oh, clearly they don't care.
Fantasy football is number 1,000 on their list of things to do.
They would have reinvent it years ago. They would have changed it years ago. If they
Pinocchio. Let's do another Pinocchio movie. That's good. Let's get Tom Hanks to start like another Pinocchio. We have to go deeper. We got to do the Pinocchio. Yeah. Fantasy football. What's that? What's that? What's fantasy football? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Right, we got a 96-team Patreon tournament. Sully says he blew it.
Shane, so I didn't have a good draft. I drafted a quarterback early. I drafted Kyler in the 7th. Someone got auto before me. I was going to take Mandrews. Could have went Pitts. Decided to go risky. I went with a player I like that I don't normally take. It was like James Conner. I had CMC. So I was going risky, injury-prone running backs that could explode. I just didn't like how my draft turned out. I think I had a lot of good drafts this year, and I don't think that was one of them. I took Gabe Davis because I know he's super risky. So I had risky guys that like maybe could turn out. So I did take some risks, but I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite draft. I don't think I did particularly well. It wasn't a good day for me. I got poison ivy. I had allergic reaction in my whole body, like still recovering from that. So it really wasn't a great day for me. Not to make excuses, but it was a bit of a show of a day, and I was just winging the draft. I was like, we'll see. You know,
This
it
man
was
caught
like,
a red-eye flight from the couch draft party, got poison ivy, slept through his
yeah,
Patreon, had to get replaced, and then did this. It
yeah.
might be a good team. You
I
never
think it's still
know.
a top 3-4 team in that particular division.
You still could win. Like
Maybe. So like my tight ends are always this. I always end up getting Pitts. I have like 70 to 80% of my leagues are Schultz. I think he's going to catch 90 to 100 balls. I mean, I know you love Schultz. I'm super. And then I usually pick it's Pitts, Schultz, or Ertz. Those are my three guys I target. You know, like in my home league, Pitts fell to me at 4.03. I was like, holy, this is crazy. But so I ended up with Pat Freiermuth, who's not great, but he's not terrible. I'm
about to make a video about this Forgotten Ninja. I think you are in my league. I am in League 6, Division 6. I'm gonna make a video called How to Win in Fantasy Football, and it's not a lot about players. It's about stuff like this. So how many people have I commissioned? Like 1,000 people in my career. You know what's funny? More people complain about their draft position than are happy with it. Just think about that.
I think
stat.
It's a cop out. I think it's such a cop out.
Cop out is one way to describe it. I only think about the winning aspect. So it's like fantasy football is 100% mental. It's not like physical. It's not like we're going out there and we have to lift weights and we have to keep our abs strong, and like it's not physical like the actual NFL. It's mental. And think about before the season begins, before the draft even begins, you're already basically saying like, oh, my team has a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm drafting from the 12 spot. By the way, I love the 12 spot.
Oh,
just make that clear. It's my favorite.
I hate like I know like almost all my drafts I've been drafting from like 9 to 12, and I absolutely love it. I keep getting lucky, but like in the Patreon, maybe in my head too. Like I drafted from the 2 spot, and I haven't drafted from the 2 spot. I don't mock from the 2 spot. I don't practice it. I didn't want to draft, I don't want to reach for Schultz at 5.02. I'm not going to do that. That's way too early for Schultz, but I'm not going to get him back at 6.11 also. So like, it's a spot where when you draft consistently at a spot, like I draft normally at the end of the first round, I know the guys that are hopefully going to be there. You get a groove, you get a feel of the guys going to be there. So I think that's kind of part of it too. When you draft an area where you don't normally draft, like I don't, not as an excuse, but I don't normally draft top 2 or 3. You're either having to reach for players you don't want to reach for, or risking not getting them in a later round. So, it's definitely a different dynamic, and you should mock, I guess, if you take it that seriously from all different spots. But and a lot of my leagues we can trade draft spots too. So like my home league and like a couple leagues you can. Some of the leagues I commission, like I'll let draft spots, but not individual picks. So like you have some flexibility there too, but. I've been loving the 10-11 range. I love the 10-11 spot for me.
Yeah, I love the later picks more so.
But yeah, it's funny. There's always that one guy who's like, "Oh, I got 11 pick. I got 12. I'm screwed." Or like actually saying it like blatantly, like I got screwed. Like, no, you didn't get screwed.
Yeah, you need to concentrate on how to win, not excuses on how to lose.
You can win out of any single slot. You can win.
How's that going to help you? It's not going to help you win. So I'm only interested in ways that'll help me win.
Yeah, that's just any negative percent on that only hurts you, and it hurts you. Even
at the very least, you're wasting time. Instead of complaining, start up a mock, even against the computer, against the sleeper computer, or on Fantasy Pros Draft Wizard or anything. Start up a mock draft and start mocking from that position. That's why you never, oh man, I got this. I'm a big believer in those type of things, like what you say, affirmations, like don't be saying like dumb stuff, because you're gonna the dumb stuff's gonna hit you in the face and it's gonna smell like poop. You don't want that
you just don't want to put bad juju out there. I mean, you want to be confident. I mean, you want to be confident, you know what I mean?
Confident but not cocky. That's how I say.
Confident but not cocky. That's a good way to put it.
And then all right, so the next league we did was the Fantasy Couch Draft Party, and oh boy, Was it crazy? The video was Sushan. You could tell this draft party was even better than last year.
Oh yeah, it looked pretty freaking.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was everything I expected and more. The food was fantastic.
Food's amazing. Yeah.
The food,
the wall of champions that you had there, and the tribute
that was great
to both John Madden and our reigning league champion. But
by the way, the
live draft.
Reigning league champion won the league from the 12th spot last year. So
go figure. There you go.
And he crushed it. And all the YouTube comments were like, "This guy's gonna win it. It's gonna happen." So here's a group photo. It was pretty wild, man. It was pretty wild. The 2022 draft party. Been doing it for I think this is the 11th one.
So how many people in here were new? So I know I was new. Arian was new.
A lot of drama. It's a lot. It's more complicated than that. Like some people were kind of banished and came back. Redemption story, redemption arc. Brand new though. Brand new. Marion, Sully. That's it.
Okay. And then I know
these two guys here. One of them's you.
Yeah. One of them's me. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah. That's it though. The brand new to the league.
Yeah, I want to say too, Scott is a national treasure. He's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, he's incredible.
He's great.
Incredible.
I put him in a Jameis Winston category, national treasure. Like that. that's where just like a special person.
This guy here, Scott,
like just a very genuine, great, funny, hilarious person. Like national treasure.
Can we get a whole couch draft? I think that's this segment here.
Right.
I think we're literally doing this right now.
Yeah. I'm talking about national treasures, comparing Scott to Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I think we're doing this 15-minute time. I think it's going to be a 15-minute segment about the couch draft party. Literally got it prepared for you. All right, there was some Easter eggs, and I'm just going to say straight up, I was talking about how passionate I am, this and that. I'm a psycho. Like, I'm just nuts when it comes to this stuff. I don't know why. It's my thing. I just do it, and I go extra hard, extra details. Like, it's not normal. And a lot of it got like 1,700 views, 2,000 views, 4,000. It wasn't really working. But now it's working. So now it's like I'm getting 20,000 views, 40,000 views. So it's like, well, I'm just going to keep doing this crap. And I'm just going to keep getting more psycho with it. And you can see in this draft, I don't think anybody noticed any of these details, but it got freaking psycho. So my favorite scene was the couch signal.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
Batman turns on the couch signal and invites everyone to the draft, and they show up. I don't think anybody noticed that I was Batman.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so I thought.
Okay.
So I was Batman, and I was turning on the couch signal.
That was quite the subtlety.
Yeah.
Like
these type of things take a long time to edit too.
Now, do you enjoy from the production aspect? Like, it looks kind of stressful. Like you got a lot going on the day of. Like the actual production day of. Do you really enjoy that, or do you really enjoy the editing?
I hate humans. I hate dealing with you guys. Oh God, you guys! I can't wait for you guys to leave. So once the actual draft starts, I have some fun. I noticed
trash.
That, you can tell I'm very loose.
Oh, that was terrible.
I stopped being I'm not an a-hole anymore. Instantly, I'm not a jerk. I'm having fun. We're all having fun during.
Well, now you can kind of
it's on tripods.
You're drafting.
I can just have fun with you guys. Before that, no, I hate it. I'm more of an editor. I'm more behind. That's probably why I don't put out as much TikTok and video content as I should. It's not a natural thing for me. And I probably should more, but it's okay. It's in my DNA. It's who I am. I accept it, and I try to adjust the best I can. But this is a small detail. Yeah, this took me a while to edit, but yeah, that is me right there. You can see the Ask the Brain emblem. Yeah. And then this one, nobody would ever notice in a lifetime. One of the Madden covers is missing from here, and it's the one that John Madden gave to me signed, the 25th anniversary Barry Sanders
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
So
Wow. That's a good touch. Nice.
I mean, you could call it a good. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Dude, I didn't notice the cake. I don't know when the cake was put out. I didn't notice the cake until like well after the draft is over.
There's a lot going on, so
I was like, oh, there's a cake. I'm like, it's a quarter eaten. I'm like, I remember looking at it. I'm like, I see 04 and 05. I see Vic and McNabb. There was this. Where's that slide? Yeah, there's Vic.
Well, these are all the covers except only the 25th anniversary.
And then I was like, yeah, I'll take that piece. That one looks good. Those were my favorite Maddens back in the day. But yeah, that was well done.
Very cool. Very cool.
Ty's trying to find more Easter egg. No, it's just more hype. Me having my arms are pointing, like it's just I give a speech. It's basically a live event. And that's like most hype part of the speech, you know, when I say let's do the draft. There's no Easter egg there.
All the dogs.
Here's the dogs. So this dog here, his name is Debo, and he had a 49er collar. Don't know if anyone noticed or don't know how many people know his name, but that's Debo, and he's named after an NFL football player.
Which one? Which football player?
Yeah. And this is Junior Mafia. I don't know whether to give him we couldn't find a Rams collar because he kind of looks like Aaron Donald, but put a Raiders collar. So, it's a North California draft. So I don't know if you guys notice all that. The Niners collar, Raiders collar, and this guy's name here is Debo. So, and this is the mom here. Cardi Blue's the mom. They've outgrown the mom officially. And this is Did this come? I mean, you could just tell by how it looks. The turducken came out great this year. Yeah. So this is the turducken. It's a turkey. Wait, what is it? A duck and a turkey? A chicken and a duck and a turkey, something like that. Yeah. And John Madden introduced this to the world. So in honor of him, we've been doing it every year, and we're going to retire it this year. So this will be the last time we're doing the turducken. We're going to have a new food menu next year. Yes, I've already started planning all the shots and some festivities and stuff next year because I'm psycho like that. Like,
yeah, you got to one-up it. You got to.
It's my one. Like, I don't do like get-togethers. I don't even like humans that much. I don't like get giddy about a party. This is my one time of the year. It's like a fantasy football draft. It's like a business Christmas party.
Yeah. How
it's
often
like
do you see
buddies get together?
Oh, yeah.
How often do you see like Mike and Drew and like your friends?
I don't. Only if it's like business. I just don't get it. Like I don't do a lot. The only thing I like really do personally, sometimes I go get some fresh air. I maybe go to Lake Tahoe or something. It's close to Cal. It's a great like place. This the most fresh air. It's high elevation. Dogs love it. Like
a nice change of pace.
I don't do a lot. Yeah, I don't. I used to go to sports bars a lot, and I hated it. Like it was annoying. Like it just wasn't for me.
So everyone's different. Yeah,
this is my one chance to go do everything right, and so I go all out, and then I go over the top with it.
So when you watch football on Sundays, you watch from your house, right?
Oh yeah, and it helps me concentrate more for what I do, So
yeah, I'll be honest. A lot of times I like just staying home and watching too, and like, sometimes like going out at a sports bar is a lot. Like there's a lot of things going on. You got bets, you got fantasy, you got drunk people. It can be a lot. Oh,
and there's a lot of negative, like some negative experiences happen when nothing major, but like just like one person like saying something negative to me, like I'm like, why am I here? Like, why would I like? I want positive energy. Like why am I here? Like it's like paying for a movie that's torturing you. Like I'd rather just not watch this movie. Like why am I in the cinema? Like if I'm going to pay and see a movie in a movie theater, I want to see a dope movie. I want to be entertained. I want to be like, this is awesome. I'm glad I came here. Why would I pay money? And what's it called when the price is they add on to the price, like
inflated.
Like inflated, like markup. Yeah, why would I pay markup prices for negativity and like BS that I don't want to happen? Like, bro, why do people have beards all of a sudden? Like, I don't want to get out of here. Like, someone comes up to me and starts saying that. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you, dog. Like, so, like, get lost. I want to watch, I want to watch a stupid Jaguars game right now because I love fantasy. I want to see how the Jaguars do. Nobody else wants to see how the Jaguars do. I do.
Yeah. Germ.
Then there's this. Then there's this part of
this guy. So another thing that happened during the draft, Germ. I used to kick it with this guy in college a lot. So it's nothing has changed.
See that I can't see. I don't see that. I don't see you two like. I don't see how that works.
There's stories I cannot say on air at all.
Like you had good stories together or a bad story?
No, you can't.
I just can't say them. But let's just say nothing's changed with this guy.
Oh, nothing changed.
He left. He called an Uber and left round 14. So I think his last 2 picks were auto picks. I'm like, bro, what are you like? How? See, nobody in their right mind like comes up with that play. He's so antsy that he had. I'm like, dude, just wait
5 minutes,
2 more rounds, like just to complete. See, I'm OCD. Like I got to complete this draft board. This guy's like, I got to get the hell out of here.
I got that too. It's like, why would you pay to go to a movie, watch 90% and leave the last 10%? Why would you do 90% of a puzzle and not finish the last 10%?
That's the thing. You finished the puzzle.
You did the hard part, but also like you did the hard part of the puzzle. Like there's 10 pieces. It's 1,000-piece puzzle. You got 100 left. It's 100-piece puzzle. You got 10 pieces left. The puzzle's pretty much done. The hard parts are done. You got the hard shadings done. You got your pieces where you know they go in the areas. Like he had his whole draft. I don't want to say complete because that draft he did was not complete, but he had 14 rounds of draft. He had 2 to go. I mean, I left with more questions than answers about Germ. That's what I'll say. I left with more questions than answers.
This was actually the funny part. It's not really an event, but Sully during the draft was seated next to Germ. So Germ, I assume he was a cool guy when you first met him. Like, I assume you liked him.
That I thought
very first met him. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was cool. Like he made a lot. Like they kept making fun of my accent, which like I don't get offended or I don't like care. But he kept doing it like a lot
in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning, like he kept doing it a lot.
Oh my god! I thought he would do that when he was drinking more.
So I was like, like I don't get easily offended at all. Like I don't even realize my accent when I speak with you guys and stuff. I understand like obviously it comes off way more, and I don't care. People from Boston, everyone has accents. I don't care, but like. He kept like doing accents and like they weren't
he's not good at them.
They weren't good. Like I said, when he was drunk, like it, like the one sounded like Elmer Fudd. I'm like, dude, are you trying to be a New Yorker or Elmer Fudd? Because I don't know. I literally said, I was like, dude, I have no idea.
He's not. Yeah. This was arguably the least funny he's been too. Like usually he has like at least a little bit of entertainment to add to the video.
He had entertainment, I think.
I mean, he usually has some more hard hit. This year was the worst. I'll put it like he didn't have
the worst.
He didn't bring that fact. Yeah.
Maybe he's trying too hard. I don't know. I don't know. I thought his Mike Evans pick was funny.
He did a little bit too much partying. I think it hit him. It hit him. It's an overwhelming event. But anyway, you met him. He was like one of the first guys you met when you touched down. And then you were seated next to him.
Yeah.
During the draft. You try to have a normal conversation. And I was like, nah, don't. Like, this guy doesn't think with logic. Like, don't do it. And they just started talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, his love, sex appeal. Yeah, his infatuation. It got a
good-looking guy nonetheless. Good-looking guy nonetheless. But he mentioned him probably over under 17 times to me about Jimmy Garoppolo. I was like, yeah,
bro. The last time he was here, he made like a song about Jimmy Garoppolo. He sung it over and over 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours throughout the draft. He kept singing the same lyrics, which I can't repeat.
That's bad.
It was pretty bad. So he's infatuated with Jimmy. I was like, bro, don't talk to this guy about like normal stuff. Like, don't do that. So
yeah,
he's a character.
But he was like consoling me, like not good, but he was like, yeah, should I pick this guy? Like he's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, Kamara mid-second. I'm like, yeah, it's not a bad pick. Like he picked from the 6th hole. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's pretty good. And I was like, he's like, yeah, you're right. And he said a couple other things, but he was like, yeah, Kamara. And then he gets up and he's like, started this acting up, gonna finish it acting up. Mike Evans. I'm like, what, dude? I'm like,
Kamara would have made his team like so much better.
Kamara would have been, what did he went? Dalvin Cook, who a little early at 1.06, but it's fine. I'm not a Cook guy, but whatever. You could. That's fine.
That's a good pick.
It's a fine pick.
I mean, I'd rather
2.07.
I think Justin Jefferson's a better pick there.
Yeah, 2.07 was it? So 2.07. He went with Mike Evans instead of Kamara, which was a bad, and then he needs RBs now, which is
so who's
bad.
crazier, this guy or D-Wiz?
They're different, I think.
This guy's a bro. He's a bro.
Okay.
He's a bro.
Yeah, he's a bro.
He's a bro. He's a
Weren't you there for him,
bro.
Shane? Weren't you there for Germ?
Nah, he
No,
missed
not for
Germ.
No.
He missed the Germ experience.
Oh, he missed the Germ. Okay.
Germ experience.
Gotcha. Yeah. He's like a bro. Yeah, he's like.
Val asked, "Who is this guy?" He's the taco of our league. If you watch the league, and there's a character named Taco, he's the taco. Yeah, he's definitely the taco. It's just a different type of taco. He's a bro. He's a full send bro, tank top, shorts. He's a bro.
Got it.
I mean,
Okay.
it's I can't get into the details. I can't reveal the lyrics. It wasn't. I wouldn't even call it a song. It was just sung in a melody of him expressing how he feels about Jimmy G for 2 to 4 hours. And yeah, it was
4 hours. Oh god.
Yeah, he gets faded and exactly. Ty.
Quite interesting. Okay.
Nobody is crazier. See, that's the thing with D-Wiz in the Throne. He's like dealing with 9 people. Germ's like dealing with one guy. Germ is too much, but he's still Germ. Like, you know what you're getting. You order it. It's all, it's the same plate. Like, you know what you're getting. With D-Wiz, it's a random plate. You might be served for it for breakfast. You might be served for it for dinner. It might be breakfast during dinner time. You might wake up and there'd be food on the side of your bed. Like, you don't know what you're getting whenever. Like, so with D-Wiz, it's coming from different angles.
It's a wild card for sure.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah,
that's a real roller coaster. Definitely.
Yeah, Germ was something else.
Val with it's just.
Val, those are your words, not ours. That's all.
Yeah, Val with the comment just hits hard. Yeah. So, well, he was kind of the clown and the clown.
But he embraces that. I don't think he took offense to that. He embraces it. So, he
knows I like how he defends his team, and then I'm like, let's make $100 bet.
Oh, I was trying to bet with him too. I'm like,
bro, he's so out there. Like, I already knew this was gonna. See, you don't know this guy. When you were talking about side bet, I was like, he doesn't know what that is. He doesn't know that people have side bets in fantasy to see who finishes higher. He doesn't know that's a thing. He's out there. He wants to bet. This is Germ. I know say can get in Germs. Germ wants to bet that a former 49er player is going to achieve some feat. That's what he wants to bet with you. I don't know why. Don't ask me why or anything. I just know. So he was on camera.
So it's like Eli Mitchell, 1,200 yards.
That's not his guy though. He has to.
Yeah, I know.
He made a bet like he hates Nick Chubb. That's why he probably drafted Kareem Hunt. He bet that Carlos Hyde would do something crazy and Nick Chubb would suck, and he lost by something crazy.
A million yards. Yeah.
Yeah, and they wouldn't pay, and then he cussed out Mike on Facebook and paid up finally after everyone was bullying him to pay up his bet. He wouldn't even pay up. That's all. Like he's a
damn.
And we'll talk about Germ, but we do have a Discord emoji with Germ. If you're acting a fool, if you're you're pushing some player for no reason.
Oh yeah.
That's what the emoji you get.
He
was at the part. He's the guy who had probably the worst team 6, Val. Yeah, he was.
He drafted
Mike Evans. That team.
Yeah, Cook Evans. Yeah, he drafted like Julio in like round 9, a defense in like round 10,
and then left in the middle of the draft.
Yeah, so he drafted. I'm going from reverse order. He drafted Robbie Gould, 49ers D, Raheem Mostert, ex-49er, Brandon Ayuk.
That was a good pick.
George Kittle.
49er.
And he's wearing a Trey Lance jersey, talking about how good Jimmy G is.
That's a lot of San Fran.
That explains him a lot. He's wearing a Trey Lance jersey, talking about his infatuation with Jimmy G.
I honestly didn't know he was wearing a Trey Lance jersey till I was towards the end of finishing the video editing, and I was just, how is he wearing a Trey Lance jersey when he's advocating that Jimmy G is the savior and he needs to start?
He also, without saying and putting much out there, he had a layup and he absolutely blew the layup. He had a layup, blew the layup. Could have bunted to get on base. thrown out at first. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but he had a layup and he blew the layup big time.
And you're not talking about the draft board. Whoa.
No, I'm not talking about the draft. Nothing to do with the draft. It has to do with the draft, but not the draft itself.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know. Did? Okay.
Oh, he had a layup. Yeah. He tripped going up for the layup.
Wow.
I'm curious. Yeah. All right. We'll talk about this after. So I'm very curious as to what this layup is here.
No. We were buddies in college.
But I think that's a layup that he's made before.
He makes a lot of layups. He makes a lot of layups.
Like the persona sells itself.
He always finds himself right under the rim. It's always a 2-foot shot. I mean, sometimes he runs the other way though and falls. Like he's done that several times.
That's what he did in the draft. Round 14, he ran the other way.
He's like a golden Uber. I'm like, why? He's like, I gotta get out of here.
I was like, I already called it.
All right. Terrible transition here. Going from germ to college football season. If you guys have any questions about the draft party, let us know. We got the college football seasons kicking off right here. What should we be looking out for, Sue Shane? Anything for Dynasty or anything for the college season that you're excited about?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. Definitely in terms of Dynasty, I mean, the 2023 class we've been talking about for quite a while. In terms of the actual names, we'll probably talk about those more in depth a little bit later in the season as, we get more guys and everything. But what I'm kind of most interested to see is who is going to be that third quarterback. Who's going to be like the Joe Burrow or the Zach Wilson of the 2023 class. We know Bryce Young exists. People know CJ Stroud already. But who is going to be that third guy? That's the one thing for Dynasty that I'm most intrigued about. And then in terms of just the college football aspect, we got this guy named Quinn Ewers who's finally starting. That's probably going to be the most exciting thing, as well as USC. The Trojans have had a huge overhaul in their offense. They got a new head coach, Lincoln Riley, a new quarterback, some receivers there. So they should be an exciting team as well. So that's just a few things that I'm excited to look for in terms of the college and the Deviate or Dynasty aspect, rather. That's basically pretty much the college segment. I mean, it's not – Caleb Williams, that would be the USC quarterback to look out for in a couple years from now in your Dynasty drafts. Obviously, another big name, Bijan Robinson. Everyone knows his name, and people are in startups, actually. I've seen people who have never tanked before, who usually go win now, are completely pivoting from their normal strategy to tank for this guy. So another thing you want to watch for is how he produces this year, and just make sure he's healthy, make sure he's on track and on pace to be that superstar running back that we all believe he can be.
I don't know who Tate Martel is.
So Tate Martel is a quarterback from maybe, I don't know how many years ago, but definitely quite a while back. He was considered not a generational quarterback, but pretty close to one. And he was just a colossal bust. He didn't even I don't even think he started a full season in college. That's how bad of a bust we're talking about here. But I don't believe it. We'll see if Bob is right. He's saying Quinn Ewers equals Tate Martel 2.0. Translation, Quinn Ewers is a bust. We'll see.
It's an odd thing to say, I think.
What's that?
It's an odd thing for Bob to say, I think. Do people subscribe to this?
No. So the context here is that I believe both of those quarterbacks went to Ohio State at one point, and Bob's an Ohio State fan.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
There's a little bit of context.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great context.
All right. Okay. I was like, what am I missing here?
Yeah. Maybe one last thing to mention would be, I've already talked about Michael Mayer. We're going to be talking about Michael Mayer.
Have you ever,
more. Boy? Oh, yeah. But I do want to mention that another kind of interesting thing that you want to look for would be the other tight end, Eric Gilbert. If he doesn't play well, that probably increases the value of Mayer in startups next year because it'd only be one good tight end. Whereas if Gilbert does produce like we think, maybe we can get Michael Mayer and those other guys at a little bit of a discount. We'll have to see. Those are just some of the things you want to watch for if you are watching college this Saturday on your weekends.
This guy's saying that Germ is to Jimmy G as Sushane is to Michael Mayer. I don't know. That's not.
Well, here's the
That's
thing,
not
right?
True. It's
Jimmy
not
G
that
is like a
much.
very mid talent.
Oh.
I'm picking a pretty good guy here.
Uh-oh.
Well-
He's about to get on one knee. He's about to get on one knee.
I don't know if Germ loves him for his talent. I think Sushane loves Mayer for his talent. I just wanted to point that out.
Facts. That is
So-
true. That is true.
One thing that's dope is that we pretty much can bank on the Germs not listening to this podcast. I don't think he's listened to any fantasy football content.
I absolutely
years.
when we've been unloading, I realized that.
Yeah,
earlier.
he's not listening to this. He watches the videos if he's in it, the draft party video, and that's it. That's his extent. That's it.
Yeah.
So, question. So some people look at Pitts kind of like a wide receiver. So if we're looking at Pitts as like a tight end for fantasy prospect and fantasy, not as a blocker and things. How would you compare Mayer and Pitts, and who do you like better?
Okay, good question. So Michael Mayer is more of a complete tight end, right?
Yeah.
What do I mean by that? I think he's going to play in line a little bit more, whereas you're going to see Kyle Pitts go on the outside a ton in his
career.
Like
a receiver, yeah.
Yeah, you're also going to see Michael Mayer block more. So because of that, obviously you don't get points in fantasy for blocking. And for every play that you're blocking is a play that you're not running a route or getting a target or getting an opportunity for a target. So because of all of that, I think maybe we put Kyle Pitts in fantasy ahead of Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
In terms of like actual real football, I don't think it's close. I think Michael Mayer is miles ahead.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts in terms of a pure tight end and what you ask of that position.
Yeah, that was kind of my impression as well. Like, I mean, even physically, that you look at the two, like Mayer, I've seen a little bit of him. He looks like a physical specimen on the line, can block. I've seen a few games of him. Like, he looks like a more prototypical tight end. And Pitts obviously is, this giant, lean giant who's, can snag anything out of the air. So,
yeah.
One
counter similarity they share would be that Kyle Pitts had a pretty good rookie season. I would say that, for rookie standards, I mean, obviously he was one of the best rookies ever, but you would say that he definitely was not one of those guys who took a year to develop, right? He kind of hit the ground running. I think Michael Mayer could also do the same for the tight end position, which is pretty rare to see, but one of the only guys I think I would say actually.
Here's kind of one counter fantasy argument, and it's too early to tell. You can't really tell, and so it's kind of going out on a limb, but I also think it's a possibility. Mayer might get more touchdowns.
Yeah, definitely.
Think about it.
Definitely. Red zone weapon for sure.
Could be better at the goal line.
I also
just more of a traditional tight end means more touchdowns.
Part of me thinks that this year was an anomaly for Pitts, though. Also, or last year was with the one touchdown.
But he's also not in the best. I mean, it's also not like he has a quarterback that's going to throw 50 touchdowns or now Drake London's there. Yeah, of course it's an anomaly, but you can't really predict either one. But I'm saying like he could leap him in touchdowns, and touchdowns is always Kane. I mean, you never like. We got to see who. Are the Falcons? I don't think the Falcons will draft a quarterback next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of have a feeling like. The way I look at it, at least, I kind of think London is going to help Pitts in a lot of ways, like having another big target that's going to command coverage. Obviously no Ridley, no Julio last year. You didn't really have that. Russell Gage doesn't profile like that type of, guy you really have to respect, honestly. Like, he's a nice receiver, but he's nothing special. You don't game plan for Russell Gage. You game plan for Pitts, and you're going to have to game plan for London. I really believe that, and I think most people would agree. So I do think and London's a big receiver too, so he's going to be a big threat in the end zone too. So I think those two, big bodies in the end zone. I do think it's going to kind of help him. That's
the two things that I'm not talking about 2022, obviously, because
Michael
Mayer's not playing 2022.
Yeah.
But if you think about we know what team Pitts is on. We don't know what team Mayer's. Pitts is on the Falcons. Not a lot of touchdowns there. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Pitts quarterback situation. Like, we don't know per se, but it doesn't seem great.
It's not good now.
I don't think it's going to be great for the future, because I think they're going to roll with Desmond Ridder for a year or two, see how that works. And nothing against Desmond Ridder. He could be good, but I don't think he's elite. And so
he's not a top prospect, though. We know that he's not.
That's what I'm saying. So between Mariota, Ridder, and the Falcons, and not a lot of touchdowns, I think that Michael Mayer has a good chance to lead Pitts in terms of touchdown potential. I mean, it's a lot of guessing and a lot of ifs for sure. And I don't want to just look at Pitts. Oh, he got one touchdown in 1 year, and I'm basing everything off that, but that did happen. And so, I'm thinking that he could. I mean, Gronk, right? Big touchdown guy, right? We're looking at more of a traditional tight end. I just think it's an argument. Maybe Mayer scores a lot more touchdowns. And when you do, that's how you typically finish, in fantasy way higher. Guy who scores a lot of touchdowns, it's a lot more points. Touchdowns are king.
Yeah.
Either way, both of these guys are going to be my top two tight ends in, very soon. Once Travis Kelce is completely out of the league and Kittle and Andrews kind of, decline a little bit, I think Mayer Pitts is going to be the top two.
This guy's saying, Fishing saying that Michael Mayer will go to the Dolphins.
The Dolphins
makes sense with Gesicki on his way out. He's not going to be there next year, or maybe not even this year. They might trade Gesicki.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't even know. I know Miami has an extra pick. I don't know whose extra pick it is. It might be the 49ers, which will be the 32nd overall pick in my guess. See what I did there?
Oh yeah, Super Bowl, yeah. You mean Jimmy G's gonna start?
Yeah, Jimmy G's gonna start.
According to my buddy, that's what we need to win a Super Bowl.
Mayer could go to a team like the Titans, maybe, right?
Couch won't like this. I'm gonna preface with that. My ideal landing spot would be a team like Washington. Honestly, it's a really good fit. They need a tight end. That's a Logan Thomas. They have Terry McLaurin to kind of take a little pressure off.
Don't worry, they'll screw it up. They'll screw it up.
They just need a quarterback as well. But from that. But I mean, I think Tennessee is good too. Him and Burks, Phillips.
Tennessee would be a good one. Yeah, they actually have a quarterback, Tannehill, and then presumably Willis.
Yeah, Bob's got a good destination, Texans. Texans.
It's a good one.
Yes. Love the Texans as
well. That's a good one.
Makes a lot of sense. They've been looking for a tight end the past few weeks.
I mean, you got Cooks right now. Nico Collins could be a nice receiver going forward. Mechie hopefully recovers, from what he's got going on and can be a good receiver. Dameon Pierce, I don't know how long term he's going to be great, but he's having a problem. Sure. Yeah, he's a guy for sure. So it looked like they do have some pieces. I'm a Davis Mills fan. I like him. I think he's good. I think this is a big year for him. So if they got him and Mills Mills would have a ton of chances to succeed if he was still the quarterback at that point. So yeah, that's a good one.
And also, if we're just comparing Michael Mayer to Kyle Pitts and looking at landing spot, I mean, it doesn't get much worse than what Atlanta has. So
it doesn't get much. I mean, maybe if he went to like the Jets or someone, I don't know.
Where tight ends go to die. Yeah.
Where tight ends go to die, and we have
he'd be the exception, man.
We have two young promising receivers, So and we have a big running back, and
it'd be a lot of mouths to feed.
There'd be a lot of mouths to feed, and potentially question mark at quarterback. So,
yep.
Yeah.
We'll be doing fantasy questions in a second. I don't understand if your question is for week. I guess that's for week one. Please be specific. I don't know if you mean for week one or the draft. All right, guys. We're done with the college. Moving on.
Yep, moving on.
Fantasy FOMO. So everyone's going to go around and name one player they wish they had more stock in or drafted more. And my guy is Saquon Barkley. He just never fell to me, and I have a strong gut feeling that he's going to bounce back this year. He's going to get a ton of receptions. He's looking great. I believe in the talent. I've seen it, and I think he's going to be good. I guess my only two worries is if the Giants unravel like they did last year, like Washington did last year. That's one worry. You know, they're like tanking and like something the coaches are going to get fired, like all this craziness. And, you know, there's some news headlines and this and that. It can happen with a bad team. That's always a worry when you draft a player from a really bad team. Or injury. And I think the injury thing, any player can get injured. So we don't know what's going to happen. But I don't think he's more injury prone than any other running back compared to his counterparts. I think he's 2 years now removed from the ACL. You know, he's looking great. He's confident. He's healthy. Low chance of re-injury. Nothing more than the average. So my guy, Saquon Barkley, I have him in 2 dynasty leagues. One, we're kind of tanking, I guess, Sushane.
Yeah.
So it's not going to do much good. But I have him in another dynasty league where I think I'm going to win the ship this year. I think everything's kind of set in. Like I've had a Cortland Sutton chilling, and now Cortland Sutton is one of my favorite receivers. I honestly forgot I had him. I was like, oh, crap, I got Cortland Sutton. I got Cortland Sutton. I got Diggs, who I don't see doing any worse than last year. I got Saquon. I got Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. So something might happen there. Patrick Mahomes, George Kittle.
Ooh.
So it's looking good.
You got some guys for sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's looking like a good, like, I think I can take it this year.
Heavyweight team.
But we'll see. And I got Saquon, of course, Saquon Barkley. So hoping I can take. So who are your guys's players that you wish you drafted more or had more stock in?
You guys will never believe this one, but it's gonna be Trey Lance for me, fellas.
Wait.
I know, right? I only
all right. So I took this.
So you have him in 100% of leagues?
I only have him in 1 dynasty and 1 redraft.
No. That's what he's saying is because he loves him so much, he wish he had more of them. He doesn't have enough.
I don't have enough of him.
How'd you misunderstood this? How was this? Was this that complicated?
No, you kind of did the same thing. I think you love Barkley.
2 leagues
going into this.
I'm in way more. Yeah.
You love Barkley going into this year, but you didn't get Barkley a lot because he didn't fall to you. I think so. I took it kind of differently than you two. You guys love these 2 guys going in, and you didn't end up getting him for whatever reason. I kind of took it like in hindsight, like I like this player, and I wish I had more of him. That's kind of the way I interpret it. But like you guys,
that works too. It's just any player you wish you had a higher. You was more on more. Of
wish you had more
rosters.
shares. Yeah,
that's all.
He did that.
I believe that this guy could actually be a top 5 quarterback in 2022. I want that on my team. I don't have it on my team. I traded it away. I mean, I got good value for it. That's fine, but I don't have him. That's the bottom line, and I wish I did.
He shot up. I couldn't get him really in redraft because he shot up after the Jimmy G. I told everyone like he's gonna start. I don't know why people didn't believe me. I told everyone Debo was gonna sign. You guys saw me like, I mean, I don't understand, but you know, people didn't see that. So Debo signed. He stayed. Trey Lance is starting. Oh, big surprise to a lot of people. I think it's just the internet's so toxic. And honestly, I'm ashamed of the 49ers fan base. It really wasn't like this back when, you know, I was a Niner fan. They were playing in Candlestick. It wasn't like this. I didn't know about it. I don't know what happened, but Niners is like, could be the most toxic fan base and most stupid fan base. And I don't know, it just felt like it happened just this past year. And I'm totally ashamed of it. And I'm very confident in that. Because I read this stuff, like, I'm like, you guys are stupid. Like, what are you guys talking about? You guys, like, they sound like germ. Like, that's how bad. I'm like, what the hell? And that's the thing. Like, most people I talk to on the internet, they have the same ideas, but they're not Niners fans. They haven't seen Jimmy G play. They think Jimmy G's going to Bro, I've watched him play. He throws a pick every game and the Niners have to bail him out. He did not make the Super Bowl. He did not make the Niners did. The Niners had a great. He actually ruined it.
They made it in spite of him.
Yeah, like he
not
wasn't
because of him,
horrible.
Not, not with him in spite of him.
Bro, he's not even a top 16 quarterback. And how the hell could you deny that? He's not top. Guess what? You usually need to win a Super Bowl. You need an average or above average quarterback, like almost every time.
Yeah.
Almost every time. I know
It's
Bob's probably still listening. He'll bring up the 2 quarterbacks that did it. I don't care, Bob. Okay, I know it's happened with Brad Johnson and Joe Flacco was actually good that year. I think
Trent Dilfer. Yeah, Trent
Dilfer. That's the one. Yeah, no, Joe Flacco was actually good the year the Ravens won.
And then Doug Collins, was it? What's his name?
No, you're talking about stuff like maybe before some of us were
Washington.
born. Though,
yeah, the Washington.
Yeah, that's before a lot of us watching this podcast was born. Just to let you know. Yeah, I got into a fight with
Doug Williams. That's his name, not Doug Collins.
Yeah, I got into a fight with someone in the Washington organization. He never hit me back up. It was bad. I'm not going to reveal who this person was, but I got a call going, and then
no worries.
I was like, what did I say? I was basically like, I think the team's going to be good this year, but it's been pretty rough or something. And then he took a lot of offense to that.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, winning 2 Super Bowls is pretty. I was like, bro, I was like before I was born.
Yeah, that's
I'm talking about before this doofus took over the team as the owner.
That's
what I wasn't prepared to have this speech. If I did, and so we made a list on this. But if I was prepared, I would have been like, I'm talking about the Dan Snyder era. I would have told him that. But I'm like I said, like he's Washington Commanders, and it would have made the argument way more freaky.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, it's not that they didn't happen. I obviously can't boast about the Jets Super Bowl 3 because it's before my time. The one thing I will say is when people say the Jets are the worst franchise ever, I disagree with it from an NFL standpoint. And I even think Washington is because they do have Super Bowls. I mean, they are both messes right now.
They were good. They were, yeah.
They were good. They're both, but neither I don't think are the worst right now. The Washington's probably the most toxic and dysfunctional right now. I would say they're probably the most toxic and dysfunctional. But yeah, I mean, the Jets have sucked, and they who knows what's to happen of them. But yeah, you don't take offense to it. It's like, yeah, we suck. The Bears.
Sometimes I don't communicate well. I was trying to tell the guy that I think they're going to be good this year. You know what? I'm glad they sucked. And I won a ton of money on DraftKings for putting the Cowboys D in my in every captain spot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. I know we're not going to be working together, buddy.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah.
Can't believe I messed up that business call, but it's what hell of a story. Even if the story's just in my head, it's funny as hell. I talked to this guy, it was good, and then about to hang up, and I'm basically saying man, I think the Washington's gonna, whatever their team name was when I was talking to them, they change it every year. I'm like, I think the Washington blah blah blahs are gonna turn it around this year. He's like, turn it around. And then the call just went
turn it
south.
around. You've been garbage for the last 2
bro. He is, bro. And then so on the podcast we made a segment about all the bad things that happened with Dan Snyder, and there was 11 bullet points. And this is before the emails. This is before the John Gruden naughty emails and all that came out. This is a lot of worse stuff happened, bro. It's such a long list, starting from the Niners star left tackle to Alex Smith's glitch in the Matrix. To all these things,
Matrix,
to
the laundry list, man. There's a lot of stuff.
It's rumored that Dan Snyder drafted a quarterback just because he's nobody else wanted to, but he's like, you got to draft this guy. He's a local kid. We're gonna draft him. We're gonna draft Dwayne Haskins. That didn't work out. This was bad.
Yeah.
So wait, who is the worst, Stolly? Since it's not the Jets, is it the Browns?
I mean, the worst football organization ever to me. If you won a Super Bowl, you are out of the conversation, in my opinion.
Did the Browns win a championship before
they won
the Super Bowl?
They did. They
won
championships.
Those the Lions?
The Lions are probably the worst ever. I would say, because but to me, so those are two things. If you've won a Super Bowl, I think you're out of. You said Browns and Lions are both the oldest teams in history and don't have a Super Bowl. So that's a good point by Bob. Browns do have championships.
I don't know. They're kind of like Breaking Bad. They 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, or whatever. I don't know.
We don't have enough time to get into the Browns saga right now. But teams like, but someone like Washington might be the most toxic right now. They're certainly toxic as hell right now. But yeah, I'd agree with those Browns and Lions. They've been around forever. They've been so bad. Yeah.
Washington's like, Washington's like, clear your cache, delete your
Yeah.
emails,
Yeah.
swap your owner with another owner, change your team name, change your team name again. I mean, it's like it's like they want to get rid of the whole change your stadium name, do this, don't get canceled.
They're a disaster.
Like
they are
so bad. We're
my
just
goodness.
dunking on Washington. Every live stream just ends up dunking on Washington, and I mean, it is what it is.
No better join left and right.
All right, so who do you have FOMO of, Sully?
Who's your guy?
So, going into it, I didn't really have a lot of Swift, and I ended up getting him in 2 or 3 leagues. So I'm happy with that. I kind of have 2 guys, and they're really not 2 guys that like you two that really like those are your guys. You kind of pinpointed them, and you knew you were going for them. I kind of have 2, and I don't think they're sexy. I don't think you guys are really going to love them, but I drafted him in the Patreon, and James Conner is a guy to me that I think is being a little slept on, especially with the exiting of Chase Edmonds. I believe he was like RB2 when Edmonds didn't play in games. If Conner, to me, is healthy, so I drafted him. That's the only share I have of James Conner. If James Conner is healthy in that offense, it's still going to be very good. Without Edmonds, and he's healthy, I think Connor's going to have another monster season. I think he's going to, he'll have more catches, obviously, with, Eno Benjamin, who's that guy really? Like, the guys they have, Devontae Ingram, like, I'm sure Eno Benjamin will be on some third downs, but I think James Conner will have more third down work. Yes, he's going to have some touchdown regression, but I think he's going to have more yards. He's going to have a higher snap percentage. So, but again, I often draft at the end of the first. So at the end of the third, he's often not there. So in the Patreon, it was 3-2. And I'm like, this is my only chance. This is like my 10th draft now. I'm joining 11th a league. I'm like, this is my only chance to get him. I might trade for him in another league. I'm like, I do think if James Conner's healthy, he's really going to bowl out this year. And I know that's not the most popular, sexy take. But that's one guy. And the other guy, to me, I don't think either of you guys are too high on him either. Well, I know you're not.
I like the James Conner one, first of all. I think that it's a good offense, first of all, and the point with Chase Edmonds that you brought up, I think it's valid because, he was kind of in between the 20s guys, whereas James Conner was a red zone guy. And now that he's gone, I mean, more yardage, you would think, more touches, more carries. I mean, I don't hate the James Conner pick. I mean, like, you're right, it's not the sexiest name.
And like Eno's not going to fully, take everything.
Eno's not going to be a threat, right?
Yeah. So
who's the other guy?
If it's even Eno Benjamin, just because.
Yeah, Timmer.
I think it's probably Darrell Williams.
Darrell Williams.
I think so. I think nobody. I don't think anybody knows.
They're all pretty horrible, to be honest.
But James Conner, to me, though, I think he's absolute stud. It's period. But I haven't forgotten that he's injury prone.
Yeah, that's the
no one's fooling me. All right, just because he missed like 2 games or one game, whatever it was last year, he still missed some time.
He's also a really good,
very injury
to that point. If you like get like 5 or 6, if he has a great start and he's like healthy 5, 6, you could sell high on James Conner and get a ton like before he gets hurt too.
I love him in round 3. I'm drafting him before Zeke. And
me too. Yep. Before
drafting him before Breece Hall, who I love too. I'm probably drafting him before that.
I
know his role.
ETN's tough. ETN, that's.
I'm taking ETN in full PPR. He's gonna crush.
I probably
which I did.
But it's interesting. It's interesting because most people like ETN more. I think it'll be pretty close at the end of the year. ETN is way sexier. He's the sexy pick, and James Conner is the very non-sexy pick. But I think they're going to be pretty close. I think they're.
Oh my God. I'm fantasizing Jaguars in garbage time.
Oh, I mean, I got a lot of ETN.
The settings, PPR has turned all the way, baby, all the way up.
I got like 3 or 4 ETN, so I hope.
Oh my God, ETN's gonna catch like 4 passes in garbage time. Just gonna rack up those glitch points. Oh
that's
my
where
God, I love
people talk about things, and they're like, "Well, he's on a bad team." I'm like, if you're in a pass catcher on a bad team, well, that's not a bad thing because the game script's in your favor, especially if you're a third down running back. Like, when the Browns are really good in winning, obviously you notice there's not a lot of Kareem Hunts. You don't got to be a genius or a GM to figure that one out. So, when the Browns are down a lot, you get less Nick Chubb unless it's at the goal line or short yardage. Again, this is basic, So I'm like, ETN, the Jaguars are losing. They could give up 35. Maybe the offense scores 28. Just because they're losing doesn't mean Lawrence is bad. Doesn't mean Etienne is going to rack up 7 catches a game or 10 catch games sometimes. So, it's some kind of misconceptions. People are like, oh, it's like lazy, like they're bad, whatever. But the second guy, I know it was one, but this is a guy I know you guys don't really like, and I like him more in redraft than dynasty. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown this year. And I don't take him. I don't have him in a single league because I like a lot of the guys around him in that tier. I like the Moonies of the world.
You have Amon-Ra FOMO.
What?
How is this possible?
So let's look at the JMO thing. First of all, so let's think about it. He goes off at the end of the year. I know there's a lot of people hurt. Some people subscribe to the thing that he was the only guy there. At the end of the day, I don't think that's completely valid. He's going against number 1 corners. He's beating number 1 corners. Yes, he's getting the volume, but he's also producing and making number 1 corners look silly, quite frankly. So Amon-Ra has the talent. I'm not buying that he was the only guy and he's not talented because he was working corners and he was getting open and he was scoring. So, and yes, there's going to be a decrease in the volume. I understand that. We know about what Swift can do. We know about Hawkinson, but then they draft JMO. Then the Amon-Ra stock kind of cools off. Now we know JMO, they're taking it slow with him. Lions are building for the future. We know JMO is going to be at least 4, if not 6, if not more games. So obviously that helps him greatly. So the other receiver, DJ Chark, gets hurt waking out of bed. I'm not concerned. And Chark's more of a downfield guy. And let's think about this. You know it as well. Jared Goff's the dump-off king. In the slot to Amon-Ra, he's going to be feeding him, Hawkinson, Swift. He's going to be feeding the short stuff. He's like, it doesn't really even feed well to JMO's game, which is downfield. Once JMO, that's the one thing I'll say negative about JMO. I know we've had this convo is that doesn't really, Goff isn't a very accurate downfield passer. He's the dump off king. And I think he's going to feed Amon-Ra a lot. I think their skill sets match very well. And I think that happened towards the end of last year, obviously to a degree, in addition to, the lack of people there. So I think, Mr. Dump Off Goff is going to dump off a lot to Amon-Ra, especially in garbage time, assuming probably not going to be a great team this year. So I do think he's going to be a really good receiver. I think he has a shot to get 1,000 yards for sure. I think he has a shot to get 90 plus catches, touchdowns, maybe like 7 touchdowns, maybe 90 catches, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. I'm not dying, I guess, to draft him, but I'm looking through it. I'm like reading more. Like I also read no, I didn't read. I didn't watch Hard Knocks, but I've know people that I watch and they're like, yeah, like this dude work ethic is insane. He's catching 202 balls after practice, every practice on the jug machine. And they're like, why not 200? And he's like, he needed to do one better than the day before, like 202 today, like always got to do better. So that might be a small thing to some, but to me, that mentality and that you don't see. But when with Hard Knocks, you see it. You get to see it, that work ethic, that mentality. He's not content. He wants to be the alpha. He wants to work hard. So all those reasons, I think Amon-Ra should get a little more credit. And I don't have him on a single team, and I kind of wish I did at least have a couple shares of Amon-Ra, I guess is my point.
Here's where I disagree. So I think the talent is there. So I agree with that.
Okay.
But I could have picked Brandon Ayuk because I love the connection with Lance. I just think on this list, a wide receiver is unacceptable because to me, they're all
yeah. That's
they're
why,
just
that's why I gave you a running back.
Yeah. So I think Mike Thomas is a better pick than Amon-Ra. I think Amon-Ra is not going to win you any fantasy football leagues. Look, the Lions defense, you can look how bad they were. I don't know, but they were pretty bad. I think they can't get any worse. So I think the Lions D is going to get better. I don't know if they're going to get one spot better, 10 spots better.
They will. They're going
to get better. Okay. That equals less garbage time. So everybody is drafting.
I don't agree with that necessarily. I don't agree with that analysis.
But no. If the defense is better, that theoretically means less garbage time.
No, I don't.
Let's not even talk about the lines. That's just how it works.
No,
the score's closer.
But that's still, you could still be losing, just not be losing by. You could still be losing by 7 to 14 or 20, and still, and not, you're losing by 14 instead of 28. It's still garbage time. You're still accumulating points. So yeah, you're saying if it's a little worse,
It's not.
I mean,
what
if
I'm
you're
saying is
losing,
kind of a fact. It's like
if
the
you're
team's
losing,
better, there's going to be less garbage time. So a team plays differently when you're down 3, when you're down 7, than when you're down like the Lions were sometimes. And I
oh
know
yeah,
a
but if
lot
you're
of
down,
the
if you're
games
down
were
21
close.
and down 14, like you're still you're passing the ball, like you're
Okay. Well, let's
you
say
know?
all right. Let's say there's going to be the exact same finishes every year as last year. That's fine too, if you don't like that point. But I subscribe to that point. It's not a big point. I think the Lions team is better and their defense is better, therefore less garbage time. And there might not be. It's
But is
obviously a
he still going to
theory.
be a big part of the offense when he's
Of
not in garbage
course,
time?
he's the number 1 wide receiver. Yes.
Okay, so I don't.
But
Yeah, so
he's
I think
got
that
that's just
mitigates
one
it.
point. That's just one point. You don't have to agree with that point. That's one point.
Okay.
I believe in that. I look at that because a lot of this Lions stuff came from garbage time. I know that. Like
That is
I've
true.
seen
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of it. Hawkinson, when he had his breakout year, just visually saw a lot of Dallas points were garbage time points.
Yeah.
Nobody like what in garbage time, nobody was defending the 5-yard, 10-yard stuff. They're just like, hey, don't let him score a touchdown right away, and we'll win the game. His quarterback is Goff. Yeah, he's a scaredy cat. So that's true. Yeah, he's not a like down the field lighted up guy. So that's true. But I mean, there's just these are all the Lions that are being drafted. Like, are there even other teams that get this many draft picks in fantasy? People draft DJ Chark. People draft Jamison Williams. People draft Amon-Ra. People draft Jamal Williams, who I think is going almost underrated with DeAndre Swift's injury history. People draft DeAndre Swift. No one's drafting Goff. No one believes in him in a 1 quarterback league. How are all these guys going to be fantasy relevant? Like with a scaredy cat quarterback? Like,
no way golf.
I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
yes,
I don't think Chark will be
there. So there is a way that Amon-Ra is going to definitely return value. He's not going like too early or something. So he is there. He is talented. He could be good. But I'm saying there's also a lot of ways that it could be. It might not pan out. He might not get a ton of target share.
I understand that's possible.
There. Swift is there.
And I understand that that's possible. So I wasn't saying this like as a league winner or anything, and maybe that's where I misunderstood. It was just someone where I was looking and I wish I had a couple more shares of him. That's all. I wish I had at least a couple shares, 1 or 2. Just I wish I had a little hand because I think he's gonna have a really nice year. I don't think he's a league winner at all. That's right.
That. Yeah, but I'm telling you, this is my prescription. I don't care about no wide receiver. I'm always finding talent and value in those rounds. And I think instead of Amon-Ra, I think you should take Mike Thomas because I think that's the type of risk you take. Now he's, maybe you replay this and I sound stupid and I sound so dumb because he gets hurt right away and he barely plays. But I'm telling you, man, if Mike Thomas is healthy, watch out because one of the most trusted Saints beat reporters is saying he looks like his old self.
Right now with the hamstring or before
that?
No,
before the hamstring. He hasn't done anything with the hamstring.
I agree with you on that. And like how, you and people will be out on Henry or Thielen the year. You'd rather be out the year. I understand. He went in the 9th round or something in like my home league. He went, or in my college, he went so late, like 8th or 9th. Yeah, he went so late.
Oh, you got to smash that. I'd smash that in round 7 before that even came.
There was a lot of other good people that fell. There was some poor. There was like a lot of guys that fell. But yeah, I'm going to be on the other side of this. I'm kind of betting that he does get hurt. And if he is healthy, I agree with you for sure. I just don't, I don't really see it. If he does, he's gonna kill it. No argument. And that's the only draft I've ever had where I could have had an opportunity to draft him at a decent value and didn't.
Oh,
and
man. You might regret that one.
I don't think. See, I don't think I'll regret that. And
Mike Thomas. Oh, that's a league winner there, folks. He's going so late.
They said that last year too, though. People said that last year too.
Potential league winner, if healthy.
He could be a league,
but I didn't draft him. I didn't say it though.
I didn't draft him either.
I wanted to. No. I'm
not saying
I'm
you
saying
did.
This. Yeah, but I
People
definitely
said that.
did not. I don't think I had him on one team.
Oh, I'm not.
I was very cautious. I didn't tell people like don't draft him ever like that, but I was very cautious of him. I was very wary of him. It was more of a fairy
You know who
tale
I took?
last year. This year, I see it. I can visualize it. I can see him doing it.
All right, I took 2 guys over. One guy you'll probably say okay. One guy.
Frozen? What happened?
I think Sully Kyle.
So a Monra pick got to him and
Yeah.
destroyed his internet connection.
I
All right,
don't
let's
know.
see what some of these people saying, other than the guy who says the same thing over and over.
I'm kind of
Cortland
with you on
Sutton.
the Amonra thing. You know, it's just the offense is just not the move. Too many mouths to feed with Jared Goff.
He's like he's a little bit of but more popular. You know how you were with Tunyon and these like little clubs, but he's even more popular than that. He's got his own club. He's got his own fan club.
Yeah,
and you know it's round 6. I don't know what it is. It's like infatuation. It's not everybody, but there's always
there's a select
2, 3, maybe 4 people in every league that are in the Amon-Ra fan club. I'm telling you, wide receiver. And don't matter, man. Like he doesn't have that potential to be like top 7 or anything. So I'm like, I'll take Mooney around later. Like, definitely. I don't care who doesn't have top 7 upside either, but Mooney probably finishes top 15 wide receiver somehow. That's the thing. High upside, high floor, not the best upside, but you know, I'm getting Mooney after people, you know, get Amon-Ra. Here's what.
There's always a tech issue with me. My charger, like I didn't realize it got like it was ajar and it came out, and nonetheless. So what I was about to say, with the 2 guys I took, I think one guy's very justified. The other guys I took in the 7th and 8th round. This is late 7, early 8. I took Ayuk and Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore's not the sexiest pick.
Both guys are really good, yeah.
But they both are really good.
What do you mean?
I think I have Elijah Moore ranked ahead of.
Yeah. So that's the context. So that's the. I know we all like. He's a little safer guy, but like he's safer, but he's not a league winner like MT could be in that way. Ayuk, I think, is definitely could be a league winner. I mean, we're all super bullish on Ayuk here. But so those are the 2 guys for context. I just wanted to say
those are very acceptable picks.
Yeah,
those are 2 guys.
But if
Ayuk almost made my FOMO list today, so.
Oh wow! You almost didn't have enough.
Well, I don't have any shares of Ayuk.
You have none.
He's very sexy man.
You're messing up. Then you're messing up.
You should have.
I got an NFT league with a bunch of whales. No Niner fan, right? They're all over the world. Some guys in a time zone that I've never even heard of.
I'm counting up my Ayuk.
And I got my Patreon division, so I got 2 leagues coming up here.
Okay, there's opportunities.
And I play a lot of best ball, so you know I'm gonna make up for it somehow. We'll get one. We'll get one in there. But other guys as FOMOs, I asked the people watching. Cortland Sutton. I love Cortland Sutton this year. He's gonna be freaking amazing. Like he's gonna be so good. So good. This is a guy who's gonna get receptions. He's gonna get the 1,000 yards mark. He's gonna get the touchdowns. He's got the quarterback. I love it. Justin Jefferson.
Could be the next Cooper Kupp, Cortland Sutton of this year.
Could be. I don't know about the. That's a tough.
Yeah, one. I got 4 Ayuk of 10, so I feel good about that.
That's a lot of stock in that.
I got. Yeah.
Justin Jefferson. You know he's going kind of early, right? A lot of people. So we did that. We did the draft with all the NFL Network guys, and Mike Florio took him 1st overall.
Yeah,
so
I saw
he's
that.
going kind of early, so. I don't know. I mean, I can see it though. He's a talent.
Interesting to say the least. He went. What did he go? 9th.
I don't hate that. I don't think that was dumb because it is full PPR and it's best ball.
It's not that dumb. No,
and best ball.
It's not that dumb.
Yeah, it's not. But you want that wide receiver in the flex in best ball. There's really no other way around. But you want to draft enough wide receivers so a wide receiver will be in your flex.
Mike got him with the 9th pick in
Steal.
Yeah, he got him with the 9th pick in our couch.
Amir says ETN. Well, homie, what are you doing? Go do some drafts. I mean, I know we all play full PPR here. Sully's kind of a half PPR guy.
I actually play. So technically, I play 2 half PPR leagues, and then everything else is full.
Well,
so.
he's basically a full PPR guy this year.
Yeah.
So we all play full PPR. You got to get some ETN. I just took him in the couch draft party, and I loved it. I had as soon as I picked him, I was like, yes.
One league I have ETN, unfortunately, it's half PPR. Who do you prefer there, him or James Conner now?
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that becomes tough.
Probably James Conner. I'm so worried about the injuries, but I'd have to go James Conner because, like you said, Sully is a good. You can trade him too, so you know he's gonna be so good when he's healthy. Like you know that everything's gonna be there. Like he's gonna get more targets in the pass game, which I don't even care about. He's gonna get all the snaps, all the carries, all the touchdowns. I mean, the team loves him. Everybody loves him. Like he's an important part of that team. They're
Let's
gonna
just say
really
this:
need him.
James Robinson's mom probably loves ETN too. We all love ETN. We
Everybody
want to
loves
see more ETN. And I don't even hate Robinson. I get a lot of flack for the Robinson. I like him super late. I don't even have James. That's funny. I don't even have. I've gotten in like arguments about it. Bob was saying like Mac's better than James Robinson, or like comparing the two like before actually. And I was like, I kind of think James Robinson was better before than Mac was, but Mac was respectable for sure. He had a 1,000-yard season and a 900-yard season, but I do kind of, I don't know, that's a weird one too. I kind of, James Robinson's ADP has also gone up a little as he's gone more healthy. He used to go in like round, 13 or 14. And I'm like, why not? I'm like, I know it's an Achilles, but round 13, people were killing me for it. For that league, what we were in with that build, I agree. That was a good point for what we were trying to do. For that, I forgot how it killed our team, but it was a waste for some reason. But at that point, round 13, 14, if it fits your build, why not, dude? I mean, 13th, people are taking kickers and defenses into 13,
I think it's
14.
still a waste of roster space. James Robinson this year. I don't think he's going to help you.
So if he's ineffective, what do? You cut him. If he's ineffective, you cut him. If he gets hurt, I mean,
you can cut. That's what's good about round 13 versus round 11. It's much easier to cut.
Yeah,
you can just drop it.
Yeah, but now his ADP's risen, and I don't.
I'm gonna read Amir's comment. I totally disagree with this. That's why I made my point. He says that the Lions offense might be the best value in draft. So I just made my point. Like we're drafting like 6 Lions players. It's led by Goff. I don't see it. Like
they're not all gonna eat. They're not all gonna eat.
That doesn't make
or
any sense.
They're gonna be inconsistent week to week.
That's now the thing. Like we all like these players. Like no one's come on, even though me and Sully had a disagreement. No one has come on here and says that Amon-Ra is not talented. TJ Hawkinson doesn't belong in the league. Swift is a bust. I wouldn't even draft him in round 3. No one said that. These guys are all talented. Yeah,
they're all good players.
But it's Jared Goff. Why don't you draft Jared? If you really believe this, you need to have FOMO with Jared Goff.
Yeah,
because that's the guy who's distributing.
I will say though, my favorite of those guys though is Swift, because Swift relies a little bit less than Goff. Obviously, the offense somewhat moves as Goff does, but obviously you have the rushing and receiving component there. Of course, he's going to be the main rusher for them. You'll have some Jamal Williams sprinkled in, and he's going to be a big guy in the screen game, obviously, and garbage, of course, to a degree. So I do like Swift the most out of those 3 main playmakers, assuming we have the same guys, Swift, Hawkinson, and Amon-Ra. I definitely like value. I mean, obviously he goes earlier in drafts than the guys, but I like Swift at the end of the first round. I do.
Val says Sutton or Mooney. This is puzzling. Sutton I get because I've been in a lot of different types of leagues where people reach for Sutton. But you can get Mooney. Mooney has gone at the price I like in every single draft I've done.
Maybe he's just missing out on Mooney,
That's the thing, though. Mooney is very easy to get. Sutton is hard sometimes.
Well, this could be two. Those could be two ways. This could be, who do we think is better, Sutton or Mooney in a vacuum? Like who, if I'm getting offered a trade or whatever, it could be like, who would you rather have, Sutton or Mooney, or at the value, would you rather have Mooney in the 6 or Sutton late 4 or whatever? Like, yeah, I'd rather have Mooney later. And just for me, but what I'm saying, but one player, I'm probably gonna take Sutton. Like if it's like,
those are definitely 2 receivers that I would want.
It's not even close, bro. Sutton is way ahead of Mooney and everything, and especially on my rankings.
The value.
Dalton Schultz is Bob's FOMO player. I'm drafting Jared Goff in super flex. That's not what I'm talking about.
Man,
I'm talking about you need to take him like way earlier.
1 QB round 14.
Yeah, if you think the Lions offense is a steal, then I mean their quarterback should do well. I mean,
I had Schultz fall to me, and it was my home league, I want to say. I had Dalton Schultz fall to me. It was like 7-11. I was like, I was freaking out. I was like, dude, why is he here? I'm like, does anyone know anything? But yeah, I have that's a good one. I would definitely try to trade for some Schultz. I have Schultz in 6 leagues. I have Schultz in 6. I have Ertz in 2. I have Pitts in 2, and I think Muth in 1. I feel good about those 3. I feel good about Pitts. Pitts, Schultz, and to a lesser extent, Ertz is the value play.
All right, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. These are some question marks for week 1, like who's hurt, who's not. Most of these guys are going to be good. So Joe Burrow, he's expected to play. He had the appendicitis surgery, pretty common surgery. A lot of people had it. So Joe Burrow is expected to play week 1. Matthew Stafford, actually been doing a lot of research on this. I'm not worried about the elbow. It seems like what he was possibly doing was practicing weird throws. He was trying to get his Mahomes on. All right, little Mahomes, little Lamar Jackson, little Malik Willis.
Well, he does that. He throws.
That's
He throws from different platforms. He throws from. He's always throwing sidearm. He can deliver the ball in different ways.
He was the original Mahomes.
He's done it since Detroit. He throws it sidearm. He throws it like crazy. So but maybe that affects him. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, this happened during practice, so I'm thinking he was doing that a lot. I think he stopped doing that, and I think he'll be good. Now, I mean, if he does it a lot during the games, it could flare up, but I think he's gonna
Did
be
anyone
fine.
say that? Did anyone say like the way he throws is like the reason, or you're just
No. This is more of a theory, but yes, it's been researched because this injury, from what I've been told, is a baseball injury. It does not happen in football.
He does throw.
Because of the traditional throwing stance. Now, when I add all this together, right? Because I wasn't sure this till about a week ago when I formulated this theory. So because of all that, because like 1 day later or 1 week later or 2 days later, he was throwing without any restriction when he was back at practice.
Yeah.
So with that being told, and because it's very rare in football, I'm just going to say it's a no, like I wouldn't worry about it. And so if you like Stafford, you can get him 1.5 rounds cheaper now because of this elbow injury. I'd go for it. And he's a full go. He should be ready week 1. I mean, there's, obviously I could be wrong, but that's what my take is. I think he's going to be fine. I just has to stop practicing those.
Yeah.
Those
if I have 2 guys though, like I dock him though. If I have 2 guys that are like very similar, like I will take the other guy over Stafford though.
Depends who it is though. I guess depends who it is. And I mean, Stafford or Stafford, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, right there. Who you taking?
I'm a Kirk Cousins guy this year.
You take Kirk over Stafford.
Yeah. Well, also Kirk goes later. I mean, I've gotten. You saw where I got him.
Yeah, but let's say Stafford's fallen in your home league where it gets freaky, right? And you want to take a quarterback. Stafford and Cousins is there. You're at the end of the turn. You want a quarterback. Carr is gone. Rodgers is gone. Lance is gone. Wilson's gone. Brady's gone. You want your quarterback.
This shouldn't be close. Come on, guys.
I know my answer. This is his opinion. This is solely. I know what I'm saying. I'm going Stafford.
Possibly, if I went Stafford, it would be for diversity purposes, to be honest. But I think Kirk's throwing 40 touchdowns this year. That's what I think about Kirk Cousins. I think what he's done, that offense is going to look Rams-like with O'Connell. What they're doing, abandoning the run compared to what they've done, smashing the ball with Cook until he gets hurt every year. I think O'Connell gets it. I think he's going to know how to use Kirk better than he ever has. He's thrown 33 and 35 touchdowns the last 2 years. I think 37, 38 minimum in my mind if he's healthy. 37, 38 minimum is what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
he is probably, but he is probably. They both have elite receivers. They both have Jefferson and Kupp. But usually that doesn't happen. Usually Stafford goes earlier. But
I got you. No, I know, and I don't hate
Kirk
that.
Kirk is like I'm saying Kirk is my guy. I'm going in on this.
Okay, well, the guy. I'm not. I get what you're coming from. I rank Mixon early. I'm never drafting Mixon 4th overall, so I get that point. I get what you're saying, but I'm telling everyone that wants my advice, take Matthew Stafford over Kirk Cousins. Sushane, you agree?
100%.
Yeah, I'd take Stafford. Yeah. I like Carr more than Kirk Cousins too.
I like
I
Carr a
think
little
it's a
below.
debate. I think it's more of a debate. But
I
I would
like
also
Carr a
probably
little.
take
Yeah, it's
Derek Carr,
extremely
maybe.
close right there. It's
I like
extremely
Carr a
close.
little. What I've been doing is I've been waiting on quarterback in every draft with Patreon where I took Kyler and stuff. I got screwed by Brady last year. I got royally screwed. He was my only quarterback. He was awesome. I was right on Brady. I was right all year. I'm in the playoffs. He takes a dump against the Saints. He takes a dump like 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
How many championships do you think I won? I like won one. I felt like an idiot. So what I did this year, I could have done this a couple ways. I could have diversified a lot of quarterbacks. I've been targeting 4 quarterbacks this year, and I've been getting them in the 10th to 13th rounds. I've went with there is a way through 35 before, so it's not that much for a reach.
But
so.
I like it makes for a good show.
Yeah,
because we got Sully in the building.
There
and
isn't
we got
zero
Steve
way.
in the building. It makes for
but
a great show, right?
He probably
It's
also
great.
doesn't know Steven with the eye probably also doesn't know that he has thrown 35 touchdowns in a season before, and he's getting one of the best OCs. Kevin O'Connell, 3 wide receivers, 11 personnel. So there is a case for it, certainly. But I think 37 to 38 is absolutely going to happen in my mind. We could disagree on that.
If I was a Kirk truther, my biggest argument wouldn't be the OC. It wouldn't be Kirk. It's actually his supporting cast. It's
supporting
pretty
cast
freaking amazing. Alexander Madison
gives him that
Dalvin Cook.
35.
The emergence
Irv Smith is back. Irv Smith would be really good.
The emergence of KJ Osborne, which I think
he's got quite
some guys on
the cast. That's what I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan, but
Yeah,
I love his cast.
That's another good point as well. What was I just going to say? So I've been targeting 4 quarterbacks, rounds 11 to 13. It's going to sound crazy that I got one of them. And depending on the league, it's Trey Lance, it's Kirk Cousins, it's Derek Carr, and it's Tom Brady. And I've gotten Brady in 11. I've gotten Lance in. I got Lance in 12 the other day. I got Trey Lance in 12. I got I think it was Kirk and Lance in 11, and 12 too. Like, I mean, you can't beat that. So, and for the reason for me is that I want to have options in my playoffs, obviously injuries and stuff, but like after the Brady thing, and yes, I could have diversified my quarterbacks in general, but those are the guys I want to go in on this year at those prices, and if they don't get there, like Lance goes 9, 10, whatever, that's fine. He goes later on the East Coast than where you guys are, than where Couch and the Niners stuff. But if it's not, and it's fine. I got 4 guys I really like, and those are the guys.
Why Lance was that guy freaked out and drafted Lance. He's a Raider fan.
That guy was bugging. That guy was bugging. He was next to me, and he'd be like, "What do you think about this?" I'm like, "I don't know, man." I'm like, he'd be like looking at some of the players. He had the laptop. He was all ready to go. He was pumped. He was ready to go. You said he did the most research.
Oh,
he's like,
he was psyched himself.
He
psyched
himself out big.
Okay. He's like hovering over someone, and I'm like, oh God, I would not have. There's a lot of players I like there. It wouldn't be there. wouldn't be them. I mean, he had some good picks though. He didn't know he had a lot of info.
But
he was fine. But he had some questions.
He picked Trey Lance because he thought I was, and I was like, "What are you doing? Don't."
You're more disciplined than that, and I think you and I had the 6-point passing touchdowns. In 6-point passing touchdowns, I prefer other quarterbacks. Like in my opinion, I really like Kirk Cousins, so I think he's going to throw a lot of touchdowns.
That guy was intimidated by me.
He was intimidated.
The thing that was funny, though, is I'm not intimidated by anyone just because I'm only concentrating on my team. I'm not like, oh, my God, Sushane's drafting. Like, I don't, who cares? I drafted with Celeb. I'm like, oh, my God, Darren Waller. Like, I don't care. I'm just worried about who I'm drafting and if he's going to fall or not. Like, that guy's like, oh, my God, I saw a TikTok with Couch. He did a TikTok with Lance. I better draft him now. Like, that is not. Yeah, that's not a way to draft. Just because I yelled on a TikTok about.
No, you should be cognizant and you should be aware of the turn and obviously what their team needs are.
But he reached for Trey Lance.
Well, the thing is, he reached for Trey Lance and then he took Aaron Rodgers 2 rounds later or 3 rounds later. That's when I got
and
nervous.
He's a Raider fan. He doesn't even that's what I'm saying.
That's when I got a little nervous with my weight because after Kirk and Carr was kind of the end of my tier, and then you go to Trevor Lawrence, you go to the Winstons, and maybe the Tuas. I guess we all have them in different orders, probably.
Sometimes Justin Fields.
Okay, yeah, those the 3 or 4 guys there. But once he took he was at like 11.02, and he was like one of the first guys to take a second quarterback. And I was like, someone said quarterback run. I'm like, no, don't do a quarterback run, because then I'm gonna be stuck with Trevor. Because there's this, as you know, there's definitely a big difference with Carr and Kirk, or like someone like Tua and Fields. That would have definitely, made my team
That's
worse.
my actual tier cutoff is right.
Yeah, that
after
exactly. That's
those
the tier
guys.
cutoff. So I was like, and then I got Kirk in a late 11, and then I almost took Carr. I got Michael Carter at a great value in the 12th to go with Breece Hall, who I got in the 4th, who was also a great value. And then I got Carr at 13-11. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I'm like,
I gotta get through this segment, so
I'm sorry. I'll talk forever.
Here we go. All right. We're only on the third day.
I'm like, it's almost.
If we can go back to the FOMO segment, I will add Brandon Ayuk as well as Jalen Hurts. I don't have any stock in Jalen.
I have zero Jalen Hurts as well.
We just keep going back to the FOMO segment whenever we feel like. We'll go back to the FOMO well.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Eli Mitchell, hamstring injury. It's a little bit mysterious. They're keeping it hush hush. Should be good for week 1. All signs point for him be a full go. J.K. Dobbins, this is actually the most interesting guy on this whole list. Somebody posted that he appeared to be limping after a drill. I watched the video. He looked like he was limping, but it's probably nothing. He clapped back and said, like, he cussed at him and said, like, what am I, a robot? He essentially said he's not limping. Like, I mean, when I think about, like, if I'm being filmed all day, like, you're gonna see a bunch of weird stuff. And so that was like a 1-second clip of him taking 2 steps, and so that was it. But without any videos, without nothing, looking mainly at in Rappaport's reports, we are seeing that this was more than like the easy ACL. I'm sorry about my terminology and whatever, but it seemed
there were
more than an ACL.
Things,
It seemed more severe, or there was more to it than just the easy ACL. Okay. So it's a more significant ACL injury. I think he's gonna play week 1, but I don't think it's 100%, and I think he will be eased in. Also, 75% chance running backs come back from ACL 1 year removed, don't perform well. Just know that they don't finish top 15. So Dobbins is a guy that I avoid, but if I'm wrong about it, I'm wrong. But that's just my take. I just want to give you guys some input on these guys that are a little
I tell people wait a year and just draft him next year at a lower price. I got him in the 6th round in one league, like mid-6th round. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, and also, Mike Davis, I think, is going to get a lot of run. They just signed Kenyon Drake, and it's mainly due to Gus Edwards being on PUP, missing at least 4 games. But also,
there's a lot of
a question mark. Like, you got to know, like, this guy's not getting more than 15 carries a game, at least not in the beginning. Like, it's not, because he wasn't before when he was healthy.
Exactly. I say that to people. He was getting 10 to 15 carries a game. He was getting a touchdown for 9 straight weeks, which is probably not sustainable. And he was averaging 5 or 6 yards a carry in that, and he was really just super efficient. No work in the passing game, really. Touchdown every game. He was getting you 13, 14 points. And that was good, but, it was the yards per carry, and it was the touchdowns with such limited 10 to 15 carries a game.
Now we're going with the guy who I'm less. I like even less.
I'm out.
Miles Sanders. When I did my post, and look, I'm not going to tout my post. I know it was risky, and I know it's not that great of a post, but I wanted to take a risk, and I did an injury prone post. Nobody did, like, no one's really doing that. Maybe a doctor or someone comes out with it, but I did my best. But as I was doing my research, and I admit I'm not the best at this, but like I said, I wanted to try something different. And the main reason I like doing this post, my injury prone post for running backs, was this is how I draft. When I look at this, I might downgrade a guy a little bit because he's more injury prone. But when I was doing it, 2 guys really stood out to me. That was Miles Sanders and Rashad Penny. And I could swear these guys haven't been playing that long. They haven't even got that many snaps, yet these guys are always hurt and always banged up. Miles Sanders, again, is injured with a hamstring injury.
He's always hurt, man. Sanders,
and he's barely playing. It's not like this guy's getting a large workload. So my point being this, he's injury prone. He has no upside. Yes, he's going to get more touchdowns than last year. Okay, that's great. He's going to get 4 or 5 touchdowns. That's cool. He got 0 last year. He's never going to get the workload ever. And if you have some kind of twisted fantasy tale, some kind of, epic thing in your head that Miles Sanders is the hero that's going to save you, right? Even if that happens and he gets a workhorse workload, he'll get hurt. So he's not used to handling the workload. Without handling the workload, he gets hurt anyway. So yeah, good chance he's ready for week 1, but we don't know. Maybe he's not. He's a
And
guy
on
I
top of
definitely
that,
would
the man
avoid.
said, "Don't draft him." Miles
Yes.
Sanders said himself, "Don't draft me."
He
So-
goes early, and I see him in the 5th, 6th round. Like he goes way too
Yeah, it's
early.
bad. It's
But you
bad,
said
and
it
he's
best.
an avoid for
You
me
said
as
it
well.
best. He has no upside. Like someone in
Yeah.
my league took Tony Pollard over Miles Sanders, and someone was like, "I don't understand." There were other people like Damian Pierce would have been a better picker than Pollard, I think. There, I mean, it's close, but he was like, he took a backup running back over Miles Sanders, and he like couldn't fathom that. And he knows football. He like knows football.
Well,
And I was just
about
like,
full if it's full PPR, then
Yeah.
it was half PPR actually.
well, then it's closer.
It's closer,
It's
but still,
closer.
like he couldn't fathom it. That like
Yeah.
you would, and I'm just like,
Bro, Pollard's
you
gonna be
can't-
a receiver this year. He's
I'm
gonna
like
be great.
Pollard's talented. Like as a runner, as a receiver, like
Oh yeah, he's got some upside. You want to talk about upside? That's upside.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got upside.
he's got standalone value, and if Zeke gets hurt or something really bad happens,
then he's like
then
the best running back in fantasy.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Oh, right,
close to
right.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
top five.
Speaking of backups, we got a couple of them coming up here. J-Rob.
James Robinson, I'm out on him with the Achilles. He's going to be like 80% healthy at the beginning of the season. He's still questionable for week 1, which like truly questionable, which I found surprised. I thought he was a lock to play because he's been practicing this and that, but I guess it's not 100%. There's a legitimate chance he might not play week 1. I think he is, but he's going to be like 80%. And
yeah, I think he'll play.
towards the end of the season, he's going to be like 90% healthy. So that's the thing with Achilles. You lose your pop. You know, he injured his Achilles after Christmas.
Yeah,
It wasn't that long ago. So
late
I'm
season.
out on him. And that's why I love ETN. There's just so many ways to chop up ETN as a good running back in fantasy.
Yeah.
Where he can catch. Even if James Robinson is good, we know who's going to play that DeAndre Swift role right when the Jags are down towards the end of the game.
I guess my only concern a little bit, I think Robinson's going to be like the goal line guy. Like I think that's the one. That's the one area.
What? Wait, Jaguars are scoring touchdowns? Hold on, I gotta change my rankings. Dude.
I mean-
let's go. Let's
mean-
Jaguars scoring touchdowns.
Trevor
Trevor
Lawrence.
Lawrence,
They have Trevor
baby.
Lawrence and
Trevor
Doug
Lawrence with
Peterson.
his. I mean, because it ain't gonna be Ingram.
They got
Christian
Trevor Lawrence.
Kirk on a deep ball. Marvin. I don't know, man. Maybe it might be
Sleeping
James
on-
Robinson. James Robinson and Lawrence with his legs. I don't know.
I do think they'll score some touchdowns. I do think
Okay.
Peterson will be good for Lawrence. I do.
We'll see.
I agree with that.
I
just
know
don't
you
if we
agree
see
with
the
that.
Results in 2022. But moving on, Ken
Should be
Walker.
improving. Yeah, should improve though.
Ken Walker, he had a hernia procedure, so he might miss the first couple weeks. I think he'll be back by week 3 or 4. I don't think he'll miss more than 4 weeks. Right now, you can get him at a super steal. Right now, this could be a league winner because
could be a
I
league
love
winner.
the price now because of this injury or this procedure. Coming back from this, he should be 100%. And we all know Seahawks suck. Like, why would they rush him? That's stupid.
He
They
was
wouldn't rush
going
him.
way. He was going. I know. At like you agree. He was
Round
going like way too
6?
early. 5,
Yeah.
6, even 5. Like
Yeah.
it was like
Now
was
he's
weird.
going. He was going 6, sometimes 7, right? Okay, now he's going like 10, closer to 10.
yeah. He
So you
goes
can
like
get him 8, 9, 10.
8, 9, 10.
I don't know,
yeah.
maybe even
Wow,
later
that's
in some
good
leagues.
price.
So
Usually
you
goes
get
8,
him,
9, 10. Yeah.
you stash him. You can even put him on IR.
Put him on your
right?
IR. Yeah.
Penny is my most likely guy to miss significant time.
That's a good
In the
guy to sell
NFL
too.
is
100%
Rashad
agree.
Penny. Yeah, another
Hey,
sell guy. Who was your other sell guy? You're saying James Conner. Yeah,
James Conner.
Rashad
More
Penny.
so Penny though. If Penny goes off first 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think
It has
so.
to,
I'm on
yeah.
my list. I got Penny being the most injury prone.
Oh, it's
running back.
Penny.
So,
It's Penny.
so yeah, he's tops James Conner and all those guys. So once he gets hurt, you're gonna have Ken Walker, and to have a guy this good in round 10, is gonna be great.
Mhm.
Brian Robinson, he just recently went on the PUP list. He's gonna miss 4 games. I mean, everything I'm hearing about him is that this was miraculously lucky. Like miraculously, like
All
I
the
mean,
things
I'm
that
not
missed, yeah.
exaggerating. Like I say, it's
Yeah,
pretty
miracle.
close to a miracle. Yeah, 1 in 1,000 chance, 1 in 10,000 chance, something crazy like that. No structural damage to the knee. Everything seems good, but he is going to miss 4 weeks at least. I don't think they'll rush him back. I don't know when he's going to come back, guys, but he's a guy you can put on IR.
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson's going to probably fumble away his opportunity yet again.
Quite literally. Yep. Not even-
Literally. Yeah, this
Not
is a
even
literal.
funny.
The Brian Robinson segment is all literal.
Yeah.
and
Mentally, I'm
so
thinking
we got
I'm
Brian Robinson.
preparing for like 6 to 8 in my head. That's where I'm.
That's
preparing.
a good. I think
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
way to. Even though it's a guess, that's what I would guess as well. 6
Yeah.
to 8.
Feel.
Cam Akers. Here's another guy who I'm avoiding, but I get it. In round 6, round 5, sometimes round 4, which I think is terrible.
Just doesn't go there.
He's not going to have that.
He goes
that
3.
pop. No, usually goes. Can you look
I've
up the
seen him
fantasy
before.
We
pros?
had this conversation once, and you said there's always someone who takes him in the 3rd round. He almost
That was it. Things have changed though.
I know, but
I
still,
probably did say that.
and you were right about it. And like if anything, it's early 4 from what I see. Like I don't know, but like regardless, I don't even like him in round 4. Like
Okay, in a standard league, he's going 3.12. That
it's
it's
just
pretty
gross.
crazy. I thought
So
it. I thought
he's
it
going
went down
early
low.
is the bottom line. My question to you is, you said you're not a big fan of him. Neither am I. I'm not into any running backs with Achilles. So what do we think of his his backup running back, Darrell Henderson?
Oh yeah, I'm
Is he in
smashing
play?
that. You go get
He's in
Darrell
play?
Henderson. Now,
Okay.
unfortunately, he made my injury-prone running back.
He's very injury prone.
Yeah,
Everyone
and
knows
like this
that.
guy got like
Mm.
20 touches in the NFL and he gets hurt. It's crazy. So
that's
he's very
where-
much like
Jeez.
Miles Sanders and Rashad Penny barely
I
plays.
don't.
And he
I
gets
don't really
brittle.
like. I don't like you. So like, if Akers is ineffective and playing, that's good for Henderson. If Akers is hurt, that's not good for Henderson because Henderson's going to be good and then he's going to get hurt. Because like Henderson is not built big enough to take a workload. They tried it. It didn't work. They tried it.
Yeah.
Like they tried it last year. It didn't work. It ended up being the Sonny Michel show because he got hurt. I think you want Akers to play alongside Hendo and Hendo to just outperform him and like win it like 60, 70, 30, and just be the more effective runner. But I'm not reaching for Henderson, but
They should both poop on each other's fantasy points, like a poop, and just kind of go like that. But I like Darrell Henderson way more because
I do too. Yeah, the value.
But then there is now. Here's what I think is really going to happen. They'll end up trading for Damian Harris.
That's a great.
Sony
one.
Michel,
Sounds like a
Super Bowl.
very Rams Patriots type of
Yeah,
transaction.
it's happened
yeah.
before, and they won a Super Bowl. And Damian Harris is a really good
He's a
running
good
back.
He's a good
Let
back.
these guys specialize more in the pass catching.
Damian
game.
Harris is better than Sonny Michel. For sure.
Yeah, but let Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson should be regulated to like a Devontae Booker role, pass catching role, learn how to catch even better, and then boom, now you have these backs, and Darrell Henderson won't get hurt because he's only a third down back. That's
I agree.
CeeDee Lamb, he is questionable. Should be good to go week 1. This one surprised me.
Ooh, I didn't
Huge
know
question mark. I don't know about this injury. I'm just guessing. Like it's a bruise behind the knee. Doesn't sound bad at all, but Shanahan's being a little bit mysterious. Shanahan's more mysterious than he seems. If he seems like he's not
always
mysterious,
mysterious,
he is
man.
mysterious. Don't
He didn't practice today for the record. He didn't practice.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
not
bit
good.
questioning. I mean, a bruise behind the knee. It doesn't sound bad, but
Is it a bone bruise though? Bone bruises aren't good.
Bone bruises are worse. It's not that it's not good, but it's
They are worse. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're worse. Yeah. Like so. Like,
I don't think anybody knows, but I'm looking it up right now.
I don't know. Is there really like a bone behind your knee? Like I don't really know.
Knee contusion, sitting out practice. It's a minor injury, but worth noting as draft season's coming up. It doesn't. I'm gonna say it's nothing. The contusion's a bruise, yeah, and it's behind the knee. That's all I know. And who knows? All right, T. Higgins. No one's talking about this crap. He's hurt.
He's hurt.
He might not play week 1. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's a total question mark. No information's given, so it might be not even a real. It might be a fake, like not even an injury. But no one's talking about that. Everyone's overdrafting him in round 3. Remember, your boy was like, "Oh, you drafted Tony Pollard a backup before Miles Sanders." Well, everyone's drafting a backup wide receiver, and before all these good, wide receiver.
He actually went. T. Higgins went at an insane value. He went at 4.8 in that draft, and I'm like, I love T. Higgins there.
I've never seen that. Yeah, he's
always
going around 3.
I've never, for the record, I've never seen it either. But I was like, you got a great value there, though.
like you guys may want to note this. Like I said, it could be. It's a total question mark, total mystery.
Yeah,
but it's not. It. We don't know if he's going to play week 1. We don't know. Jalen Waddle, he should be good to go. Pretty much no worries there. He's good to go week 1. Deontay Johnson seems good to go week 1,
perfect.
so he
Okay.
should be good.
I got
Chris,
some heavy stock in Deontay, so that's good.
Yeah, in full PPR, we like him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Chris Godwin, don't know if he's going to play. My guess is yes, and he'll probably be eased back in, kind of like
Snap
Saquon.
count, yeah, probably
his
snap
first
count.
week. Probably what?
Probably like a snap count week 1 and 2.
Yeah, snap count.
Snap count, definitely.
And then ramp it up probably first 4 weeks.
Oh, I have some info on the T. Higgins if you'd like to.
Yes, read it, please.
We got
Not seen at practice as of yesterday. Higgins was limited for most of training camp, which I did not know he was limited for most of training camp, after undergoing surgery in March to repair a torn labrum, as he didn't make his debut in 11 on 11 drills until August 14th. He should have enough time to be ready for week 1, sounds like an opinion. Though an absence from practice 11 days before Cincinnati's open doesn't exactly inspire confidence, which is an opinion I would agree with. But yeah, torn labrum, it's not a minor injury. That's I know people that have had labrum surgery. I know a teacher, like it's a big surgery. And like, I didn't know this surgery happened. I didn't know we didn't do 11 on 11 till August 14th. Yeah, this is somewhat significant, I would say.
Yeah. Being back on 11 on 11s is encouraging, but
it is encouraging, but then he's not practicing, so he's regressing.
Right.
Now, when was the death in the family, Amir? As I don't see any information about him missing this recent practice because of death in the family. Now, if that's the case, that makes sense, but I didn't see that, so
I didn't see that either.
Yeah, that's what no one's talking about this. It's at the very least concerning.
That could be significant too. Yeah.
And especially how he's being, let's just face it, overdrafted.
Oh, wait.
It
appears, this is Reddit. It appears T. Figgins' father has passed away. This is Reddit from 2 days ago, so he might be onto something there.
That's probably it then. That makes sense why he missed. Okay. That makes more sense.
Good context. Thank you for the context.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't even know that. Mike Thomas, I feel like we talked about him a lot, but all signs point for him to play week 1.
Beautiful.
We'll wait and see. Sully's wants to see it to believe it.
Yeah, I'm a doubter.
Drake London, actually, this is more of a mystery than we think. Oh, it's a nothing burger. He's fine, but
I don't think he plays week 1.
He might not play week 1. Yeah, we don't know. Just because they said it seemed like nothing the day it happened during the preseason game. I haven't seen this man.
They got the way I feel that he's their future. Him and Pitts. If it's close, I don't think he's going to play. Why would they force it? They know they're not, winning the Super Bowl this year. I don't think he plays week 1.
It's funny. I honestly think the coach doesn't think like that, but it's weird.
Also true.
The GM should, though. The GM should think like that. I think that's the GM's job to know about the tanking, and the coach's job is just to go,
You're right.
Go to the front lines and, push the soldiers out and try to win the war. But I mean, the GM knows. GM's like, yeah, dude, we're not winning the Super Bowl this year. Rondale Moore, and there's a slew of Cardinals players who are just mysterious. So Rondale Moore is in actual jeopardy of missing week 1. Darren Waller, he's fine, should be good to go week 1. Albert O is injured, but is severely downplayed, so he should be good to go. This is the Broncos tight end. It's one of my sleepers. I like Albert O. Tim Patrick's injury will help boost Albert O. And I left a comment on TikTok. It got a lot of traction. This guy made like a bust list, and I liked all his busts. It was great, except Albert O. And I was like, look, man, Tim Patrick's hurt. Russell Wilson's there. Albert O is pretty athletic. And he's like, well, they got Greg Dulcich. And I'm like, okay, but he's a rookie. I don't think he'll play much. And then just recently, I think Greg Dulcich has been placed on IR or one of those. He's going to miss 4 weeks. And everyone loves what I said. They're like, yeah, dude, you're you make some good points. But one guy came in and said, Albert O's more of a receiver. He's not going to play all the snaps. And I was like, that actually could be used as an argument from my side. I was like, if Albert O ain't playing the snaps, who is? It ain't going to be Greg Dulcich.
When he's
back. It ain't going to be Noah Fant, because Greg Dulcich is out and Noah Fant is no longer with the team. So Sounds like Albert O is gonna be like you're making him out to be Kyle Pitts here. I mean, you're helping me out. I'm exaggerating. I'm joking. Don't.
I got you.
Yeah, he's gonna be a receiver. The guy saying he's gonna be a receiver. I'm like, well, I love that.
That's certainly more in your favor than anything else. I don't know why he would say that to debate you on it.
So he's a sleeper, and he's questionable. So you can get him at a discount just because he has that red Q status. But he should be good to go week 1. Zach Ertz, I got a gut feeling he's good to go week 1, but he is questionable with the calf injury. He's had several weeks to rest up. Should be good to go, but Kingsbury's doing a little bit of a mysterious thing. We don't know for sure. Irv Smith back to catching passes with a thumb injury. All signs are looking good for him. Robert Tonyan.
This is important for me.
Seriously could miss week 1 or could be more like a Godwin situation.
Okay.
But what's good about Tonyan? None of us draft him as a tight end 1. He's going to be on our IR. We're not going to start him until bye week. So in terms of fantasy, we want him a full go when bye weeks start hitting week 5, week 6, week 9, and hopefully he'll be full go by then. Logan Thomas. Well, we all know that Washington tight ends always get hurt. And Logan Thomas is no exception. Knee injury. Could be back week 2. Probably going to miss week 1.
That's another one. Miss me on Logan Thomas being healthy. He's like 32 and like.
Well, dude, like saying, like when I say that, like I'm not trying to like I'm not like a Washington hater out of the blue. Like literally every Washington tight end gets hurt. Literally. Who was the Jordan Reed? You guys remember him? The most injury-prone tight end ever? Oh, yeah. Okay. Vernon Davis.
Yeah.
He was good. Like all of a sudden he gets hurt at the end. Like Logan Thomas.
And he's so old. He's so old. Yeah. I'm so over the Logan Thomas project. Look at Logan Thomas. Is like he had one good year, breakout year, and every other year he's been terrible. No.
He's not for me.
People were like, he's talented. I'm like, is he? Like, took him 7 years to break out.
Like, there was no other guy to throw the ball to. Is kind of
that's
why
an example. Yeah, that's
Jordan
an example.
Reeds and these guys actually broke out because they were the best receiver on the team. And the segment you guys have been waiting for because you guys know all this, but you guys don't know about kickers. So I do. Mason Crosby.
I know about
He's
kickers.
Been hurt.
I know about kickers.
You do?
Yeah, I do well with kickers. Yeah, I do well with kickers.
Huh?
No,
you do. You actually do.
Okay.
Yeah. When we co-own teams, you make great kicker decisions always. Yeah. I'll give it to you. No, but kicker news, I'm talking about specifically. So Mason Crosby, he should be good to go. He's been out for a while. I think he was dealing with some personal issues last year. Now he sucked as far as his accuracy. The thing that pisses me off with Mason Crosby is this year, if he was accurate, he could be the best kicker in fantasy. I think the Packers will have a ton of opportunities to kick extra points and field goals to go off. I just don't trust him. So right now I'm ranking him like kicker 13, something I don't remember, but something around there, as in basically like I'm not doing it, but I'm going to keep my eye on him. I'm also going to keep my eye on Jason Sanders and a couple other guys like Jake Elliott, the Eagles kicker, should be pretty good. But I need to wait. These guys need to start making field goals for me to hop back on the band. But they're right there, 13, 14, 16. They're ranked right about there. Will Lutz, good to go. Just nailed a 59-yarder. I'm drafting him, and I'm starting him week 1 against the Falcons. Absolutely love it. Rodrigo Blankenship, same thing. He won the kicker job again. Looks good to go. He's making his kicks. And remember, guys, Saints, good matchup against the Falcons. Rodrigo Blankenship, good matchup against the Jags. And Colts should be kicking a lot of field goals, should be kicking a lot of extra points. They'll be up. They'll settle for field goals in the fourth quarter. So that's the kicker news of the week. And let's answer a couple questions, and let's end it. Danny Garcia, will Pittman really be that guy? Yes.
Add him to my FOMO list. Michael Pittman.
Yep. So that's a yes from Sushan. Yes or no, Sully?
What? Oh, yeah, he's my guy too.
He's that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I was just reading up on a chat, and then someone was just like, you got to pay attention to the stream. That's really funny. But yeah, I have Pittman in like 3 or 4 leagues. I just traded for Pittman and Swift, and I got rid of Henry and Bateman. That was the trade I said in the captain's chat. I liked it a lot.
In a 10-team Superflex redraft, picking 5th, if JT is there, take him or QB? That is a tough question. So
Ooh.
Lamar is my QB4. So we got to just assume Mahomes, Herbert, Josh Allen is gone. So we got Lamar Jackson, and then we got a Kyler, Hurts. You know, it's kind of like a dead zone.
Could be Burrow, depending who you're playing with.
So for me, I'm going JT because it's a 10-teamer. So this is my strategy in an 8-team league. So it's similar to a 10-team league. I always reach for players to get the best player at that position. So Josh Allen, Travis Kelce for sure, and JT if you like him, go get those guys. Go get those guys. Go get a top 6 wide receiver. You can make up for a lot of this. Now you're gonna obviously need a quarterback really soon because it's super flex. It's just not as crazy as a 12. In a 12-team super flex, you like quarterbacks go so fast. But in a 10-team, you know, we're mentioning Jared Goff before. Jared Goff could be your QB2. Davis Mills could be your QB2. That's worst case scenario. You can easily get Jameis Winston, you know, a guy like that, a Trevor Lawrence. I think you'll be straight. Go get the best guys at each position. What do you guys think though? Should he take JT or should he go quarterback?
I would say maybe, if possible, know what your league is going to do, because I know, like, for example, in our first down league, I mean, I was going 3 quarterbacks back to back because I knew the quarterbacks are going to be taken real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a strategy I would do in a normal superflex league.
Yeah,
I don't think quarterbacks would go that quick. In terms of if you just get gun to my head, if I don't know, you know, if I'm going into the league blind, I think I'm kind of with you. Let's go with JT. Get the best running back.
I'm cool with JT too.
I like Burrow or Lamar or Kyler or whoever. I still think you can get a good quarterback. And JT is kind of that only running back who might be worth picking over these, you know, tier 2, tier 3 quarterbacks. So you said others in my league don't draft good?
Take JT.
Yeah, that means definitely take JT.
Get the best players at their position. Don't worry about your bench. This is the advice for people that think it's terrible advice. This is for a 10-team league. In a 12-team league, worry about your freaking bench. Okay. In an 8-team league, there is no bench. It's just a bunch of BS. It's like an all-star team.
Yeah.
So I'm getting LeBron, Steph Curry. Like, it's an all-star game. Like, it's silly in an 8-team league. And a 10-team is close to an 8-team league. So just go get those guys. Get guys like Kelce. Get a top 6 wide receiver. You always be able to make it up. Like,
get those studs.
Who's gonna be my wide receiver 4? Nobody cares. Don't worry about who your wide receiver 4 is. You can get them all. Don't worry. Wide receiver 4, you can find them off waivers. Trust me. In this league, Romeo Doubs isn't even going to get drafted. Alec Pierce, not even going to get drafted.
Yep, won't even get
Don't
sniffed,
even worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about who your, wide receiver 4 is. Don't worry about who your RB7 is. You don't need it. So, Couch Fam, I'll be doing more videos. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'll be doing more videos on the main channel. And that's it. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to the podcast channel. I'll be coming out with more videos on the main channel. So make sure you do check that out. Good luck in your drafts. Peace out.